let's not already get off track. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Before we get into what we about to get into, I got a couple announcements to make. You already know. We start off our announcements. Plus, we want to wait, see if we can get as many people as we can get up in here. It's 21 of y'all up in here. Uh-oh. You got the sound effects working. Make sure y'all hit that like button while you in here. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Hold on. Let me go through the comment section. What's up with y'all? Oh, man, I'm already seeing something. Oh, Saladin, what's up with you, man? Matter of fact, give me a second. I'm gonna go. No, I'll do this right now. What's up with you, Saladin? Y'all go check out Saladin's page. I was on there the other day. I did a live stream with this brother. He has some IT stuff going on in his page. Y'all know we definitely mess with the code and IT on here. If you're around, you can come on this. You can come on this live stream, Saladin. You already know what it is. That's fam right there. Dub Nation, happy birthday. Dub Nation is Moxy Mob. Happy birthday, Dub Nation. Glad to have you a part of the fam, man. Happy birthday. Emmanuel, what's up with you? I'll be on live a bit later. Make sure it's a good one. Hold it down until I come. What we talking about? What we talking about? Check Stub, the general. The general check Stub. Salute. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and comment. Yeah, I freaked it with this one. I got this subscribe only comment section. Y'all don't think I saw all them trolls? Don't worry, we're gonna get to that in a minute before we start off. Yeah. Happy birthday. Sooth and Gotti, man. I be seeing you all over the place, man. Good looks, man. Happy to have you on here. Good looks. What's up with you, bro? All right. So look, let's get into a couple of these announcements. Give time for a little bit more people to come on. Then you already know, for those of y'all not familiar with the Friend of Fold series we got going on here, this is definitely a call in. We can talk about all that. First, I want to talk about the hate mail I've been getting. I've been getting a lot of hate mail. I've never got this amount of hate email in my life. Niggas was sending me all kinds of like foul stuff, emailing me. Y'all know what it was about. It's about Kwame. Look, I don't know what it is about him that got some of y'all upset. I think especially some of these trolls in here, I think some of these are Hassan and Tommy, if you ask me. Maybe not Tommy. He was busy this week. I definitely think some of these is Hassan. But I've been getting a lot of hate mail this week. I just want to tell y'all this. I'm not these other pages or whatever that's trying to come out and check Kwame about. That dude is a grown-ass man, all right? When he says stuff that I really agree with, that's when I really do Kwame videos, all right? It seems like people just want to hear what they want to hear. Never say Kwame is Black Jesus, all right? I think the guy is more of a leader than a lot of people on YouTube. You know, I don't think he's never wrong. All right. There was a reason why I didn't cover anything between him and Gilbert Arenas. Them two dudes, first of all, they know each other. So I don't really try getting in stuff when it's two people that was running around, they know each other. I think that's really feminine on my behalf to pick a side like, oh, he's right or that right. I think it was very entertaining to watch them dudes go back and forth. I will say that. But, you know, we all clout chasing here on YouTube, all of us, to a certain degree. None of us want 2-3 people on the stream watching. All right? So all of us, we talk about things that even we may not want to talk about. You know what I mean? But there's different lines to this type of stuff. All right? And me personally, matter of fact, I'm gonna stop it to say this. I'm gonna tell you what makes me different from because you know you a dick rider, all that. I'll be all of that. Even though, of course, y'all know I'm not. But what separates me from other people that I guess cover Kwame Brown videos, and there's nothing wrong with them. You know, Gravity Takeout covers his videos. You know, he disagreed with Kwame. They had a back and forth. That's good. That's him. You know, me, what separates me from a lot of other people, I've been through Hollywood. I've gotten and have had A-list celebrities willing to do anything that don't nobody know about me. So when I find somebody that's willing to give me a shout out and don't care, yes, I'm gonna be real cool with them. All right. What do I get out of making a Kwame Brown video saying, oh, this guy was wrong here, this guy is wrong there? There's other people that's gonna do that anyway. Me, I'd rather stick to the positivity when it comes to him because he gave me a shout out and helped me. I got about 4,000 subs from him. All right. So I'll leave it up to the other pages, and they're not wrong for doing that. And Kwame likes that. He likes people going on there and respectfully disagreeing with him. I'm just saying, for me, I'd just rather not go that route. I've already had man, wait till I really get up in subs up there when I ain't really got to worry about getting a job again. And I can tell y'all some of these stories from these A-list people. First of all, ain't no pro-black in Hollywood. Ain't no pro-black. That's all bullshit. But wait till y'all hear some of the stories of the hatred I've gotten from A-list celebrities and comedians. And I've not done nothing wrong to none of them. None of them. I had one dude, story I'm going to tell y'all one day, a comedian, very popular now. I did a festival, and of course, I wasn't known as all these other comedians. I took the festival over. It was a week festival. By the end of the end of the festival, people was popping up to these places asking for Moxy. No one knew me. I was tearing it up every day. All right. One of the comedians is an A-list comedian, and I asked this guy. I was like, "Look, man, I've been watching you since I was in high school, man. I really would like you to be a mentor to me." This man comes and say to me, is, "I really wish you would stop doing comedy. You should be some announcer, but you should do anything but this. I don't want to have to compete with you." He said this to me. Okay. So I've been in Hollywood and dealt with that. I wouldn't be 100 with myself if I ain't show respect to somebody of a celebrity status, showing me some love. And that's just me. All right. There's other people. You got a motherfucker that's not even black going out there speaking for us. I got a video I'm about to do about him. Talking about our leaders. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Poppy King Herod. The hair of a colonizer. I'd rather spend my time on someone like that than trying to check Kwame on what he got going on. I let other people do that. But you can call me a dick rider. You can call me anything. I never said I didn't disagree with this guy. I never said that he was perfect. I just said I appreciate him showing me some love, and I'd rather stick with that with him. Okay? So we got that out there. We about to cook on this one.
Hey, niggas get shot up.
We about to cook. What's next? Oh, because of my last video talking about people shouting out people, I got a lot of y'all hit me up on my inbox. Y'all want help with YouTube. And first of all, those of y'all that follow me, y'all know with these streams, I let everybody get out their page and all of that. I let everybody speak their word, you know, and promote their page at the end of this. So you can join any of my live streams, participate. You can promote your page. But it just lets me know some weirdos out there. Some of the mail that I've gotten from y'all is like, I don't think y'all know business. This one person came on there and said, I can't get you or Kwame to shout me out. Y'all pitiful and all that. And I'm like, I've never seen this person ever on my page. They've never came on there. They've never donated a goddamn dollar. Asking like I owed them something. And I'm only saying this because it just wasn't one email I got like that. It was like 5 emails I got like that. And it's like, I'm willing to help people on YouTube just like I got help, you know? But you have to make yourself someone that, you know, can be helped. You get what I'm saying? You support people, people support you back. Can you imagine if every single person that came to me asked for a shout out, I gave them a shout out? And then there's some weirdos on YouTube. You might end up giving somebody a shout out that has a video out talking about pedophilia. Some of y'all done seen that on here. Y'all know what I mean. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can come on here on my page with these live streams and promote yourself at any time. Hold on, man. I got the heat up in here at 79. I'm gonna have to turn this heat off for a second. Yeah, open up this balcony and shit. Get a little bit of cool air in here. All righty. Yeah, the announcements is taking a little bit longer. You know, I don't be taking no 15 minutes on announcements. We about to get to it, but I'm gonna figure out a way. I might just do a little membership group where I talk about what I do, because I got my own process with YouTube. What I do for YouTube, this shit takes time, and I definitely don't have any qualms about charging a little bit of money to teach people, because this stuff takes time. All right. Some of y'all who've been on here for months, y'all can inbox me on Instagram and I'll probably help y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. I ain't talking about someone that just came on here today, but like someone like Dub Nation, someone like Check Stuff. Y'all been rocking with me for months. Yeah, you know, so certain people like that, but the rest of y'all, I don't have no problem starting up some kind of membership group if you want to learn on YouTube. Nothing is free. I learned coding. It costs money for me to learn how to code. All right. But there's certain people that y'all been supporting me for so long that, yeah, I would feel bad, like, you know, charging y'all anything. I can't give you a full course on it, but I can answer some questions. And y'all know who y'all talking about, y'all official Moxy Mob members that's been around for a while. But I can't just help out everybody and say, hey, man, tell me everything you know on YouTube. Nigga, who is you? Like, yo. Anyway, though, man, I'm done talking this shit. Now let's get into what we here for. This was tough for this, because I don't want this to come across as I'm using this as a period to hate on Martin Luther King. But I will say this. First of all, let me do my speech. For those of you that are not familiar with this series, this is a series that we call Friend or Foe. Now, on Friend or Foe, what we do is we take political figures, we take sometimes celebrities, we take laws, we take events, we even take ideas, and we look at it from different angles, and we come to a conclusion of if this element is in our favor or not in our favor. Has it helped us or has it brought us down? Has it brought us down more than helped us? Now, me, half these times that we do these Friend or Foe, I have my own bias and my own opinion on these topics. But what I'm supposed to do as a facilitator, I put my biasness to the side so we can ask the questions that other channels don't ask. As we get bigger, you're gonna see people try to do what I'm doing, name it in certain type of ways, but that don't matter. We the innovators over here. People are supposed to copy, all right? We the innovators over here. Yeah. So I have to ask the questions to look at this at all angles to see, damn, they put me in the matrix early, huh? To come up with a conclusion on whether it's a friend or a foe. Hey, they got me in the matrix, y'all. Look like they got me in the matrix. All right, look like you got a little bit better, but god damn. It's always something with these cats. I kind of like that matrix stuff though. As long as y'all can hear me. As long as y'all can hear me. Yeah, this shit is. Neo. Neo. I know what that means. Let me but anyway, to finish my thing, today's topic is, as you can see, what we talking about. Martin Luther King. Now, this is a very interesting topic to me because as I got older, I found out there were a lot of things about Martin Luther King that they did not teach us in school. And one thing I also found out when I went to college is that white people were quick to bring this stuff up. They were quick to bring this stuff up, as if George Washington and all these dudes wasn't doing homosexual stuff, as these guys wasn't pieces of shit. But they love to talk about Martin Luther King. They love to talk about Martin Luther King. But some of this stuff is dark. And I don't know if some of y'all even know this, which is why I wanted to bring this up. And there's a method to the madness of this, because I think it's, I'm going to save some of this for my final monologue. I'm going to save some of it for my final monologue. I'm just going to leave it at there's going to be a day of reckoning with Martin Luther King. And I want us to be prepared for it. Because I'm not sure what y'all know about this guy, but there's a lot of stuff out there about Martin Luther King. So let's get into it. What do I want to show first? Because there's a lot. There is a lot. Don't worry. I ain't gonna get cliches and play the I Have a Dream speech. I mean, we done heard a lot of that. But there's another, like I said, this is not a hate on Martin Luther King stream. Like, I'm gonna put the link up. Y'all can come up here and talk y'all shit. If you want, you can also use this as an appreciation stream. If you want to come on here and say your appreciation for Martin Luther King, you can. But any kind of hate or slander you have, that's cool too. I just wish you gotta have some kind of facts. I don't want nobody to come up in here like, I mean, you can pretty much say that, but y'all know how we do friend or foe. We like to have facts to back up this stuff. It's some stuff I want to present to y'all, and all of it, I have references for it. I'm not just saying, oh, this dude did this, but yeah. The problem I really think with Martin Luther King is that some of the stuff you hear about him is so different. It's polarizing than what we were taught about him. It's so polarizing. And when I first heard about this stuff, it is shocking. And the reason why I say that we're going to have a day of reckoning with Martin Luther King is because they keep pushing this stuff back. And what I mean by they keep pushing it back is they were supposed to release his records, I believe, actually this year. FBI is supposed to release all this because they were doing surveillance on Martin Luther King, and purportedly they saw some stuff that if we knew about, it would upset us. All kinds of stuff. We could get into it. All kinds of stuff. But now they done pushed it back to 2027. And there's some reasons why I think that they're doing that. We're going to get into that. All right. So first off, let's go. Oh, shit. My Facebook is starting to blow. I'm starting to get Facebook comments, y'all. Because just so y'all know, I got this on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So, I know I'm starting to grow now because I'm actually starting to have people comment on Facebook. All right, let's go through these comments. Saladin, that's real. Good looks. OG Paul D, what up, though? What's going on with you? Welcome. This right here means superstar love. This don't mean Baphomet, motherfuckers. All right? I appreciate you, man. See? Saw my name on Bus Life. I got time to be hating on nobody like that. Can't pour from an empty cup. Yeah, I know you're talking about when I was talking about that YouTube stuff. Good looks. Sound is good. It don't look like I'm flickering anymore, so that's good. Karen King, I don't even know if y'all can see this. She on Facebook. Yeah, it look like, yeah, we got the Facebook popping.
Jesus Christ. All right, goddamn.
Got the Facebook popping. Jamel Fareed, I appreciate you, dog. Hell yeah. Can't nobody comment. I got this on subscriber only. They can't comment. I saw all the trolls. Usually I don't make my live streams subscriber only with the comments, but I saw so many trolls. It was like, all right, if you're gonna come on here and troll, you're gonna at least have to subscribe. I saw them all there. Kevin Feeney, what's up, yo? You a brim? No, huh? Nah, I ain't no brim. No. Adriana, what's up with you, Adriana? Hold on 1 second. All right, now let's get this going. Let's start off with this as you know what? Y'all know I switch it up every time. I'm gonna put the link up right now before I even really start getting into my monologue. All right. So let's just start off with think we can start it off with this. I got this big ass screen. So I'm learning how to navigate this shit. She said, I called myself hiding from YouTube. Oh, wait. I think I know who this is. Watch Nickerson Garden in the house. Y'all know I used to live in Nickerson Gardens for like a year, right? In Watts. Is this you? Yeah, as I get bigger, these niggas about to start coming on here. But yeah, I used to live in Watts Nickerson Gardens. I don't want to say your name, but I'm wondering, is that you? All right, let's get this going. Now, one thing about Martin Luther King that I want to start off and talk about is there's a lot of stuff. Martin Luther King, he was a lot closer to Malcolm X than what people want to admit. Not saying that he was promoting violence or anything like that. Not saying Martin Luther King or Malcolm X were promoting violence, but you know, by any means necessary, including violence. Martin Luther King, he was radical on a lot of stuff also, but they don't preach that about him. They just preach the bust. Hey, let me walk down the street and let you bust me in my head. They preach that more than anything. And there was a shift coming for what he was teaching, which is one of the reasons why I think he was assassinated. So look, he said, oh no, this ain't who I think. I believe that was like, y'all have a liquor store on 116th, I believe. Imperial. I stay right over there near there. But there's actually a name. Killer Kev. I know Killer Kev. Prosper. I don't know if you know Prosper. This one name, I know him, but I didn't run with him, but I definitely know him. He had a lot of time. I don't know if you know Klepto. I know Klepto. I stayed in Nickerson Gardens for like a year. I got hit up a couple times. I could have got killed in Nickerson Gardens. I wore I had a Buffalo Bills jacket on. Y'all know me, a Buffalo Bills fan, and it was cold as hell. And one of the popular stories is I was because I was staying with my cousin at the time in Watts, and I was coming home from work. I had a little. I was an STD counselor, so I used to take the train, little train, come back home. And I don't know any of y'all in Watts. Y'all know about the train is where they used to really get down on that gangbanging stuff. I used to get off the train, and one time I got off the train, I didn't know this was one of the biggest, one of the leader gangbangers in Nickerson Gardens. Hit me up and said, "Take your jacket off." And I said, "You know what, man? You're gonna have to kill me because it's too cold out here. You just gonna have to kill me." He said, "I said, take your jacket off." So I'm not taking my jacket off. And he says, "You know what? You could be around here. You strong enough to be around here because you know what I mean. You already knew you wasn't, no crip or anything like that, but you're not weak." So that was it from that. But I'm not about to get in there and talking about no gangbang. I just wanted to put that out there. Yeah, I stayed in Nickerson Gardens for a while. Shout out to the super chats. Martin Luther King did not write the dream speech. A white guy did. Yeah, talk that shit. Talk that shit. Matter of fact, let me put the link up now before I even start playing any videos. I'm gonna put the link up now. Talk that shit. Just come with some kind of proof, though. You can come in here. You can come in here, and we have private chat. You come in here. You can put any of your facts, any of your references in the private chat. We got 46 people up in here. Yo, hit that like button. Let's get more people in here to talk their shit. Like I said, if you want to make this stream where you want to come and show Martin Luther King some love and respect, you can also do that too. I want to get to some of the stuff that we was not taught about in high school that we ended up reading about, the FBI documents, because they trying to play us with Martin Luther King. I'm gonna probably end it in my final monologue on how they trying to play us with him. All right, Check Stub, the general Check Stub. I don't call you Check Stub no more. It's the general. Yo, good looks, bro. I appreciate you. Hold on, I'm trying to tag this link up at the top. Give me a second. I'm trying to tag this link right at the top. Yeah, this ain't no stream that we coming out to just flat out disrespect Martin Luther King. That ain't us. We don't do that over here. And some people, once I put that, it's certain people that's been stealing from me for a while. I ain't getting to that right now. But once I put this link up for this Martin Luther King stream, like 2 of them channels I know be watching my shit, they put a link up for doing a Martin Luther King shit, but they shit is just focused on the negative shit, the shock stuff. We don't do the shock stuff over here. Some of the information we may put out may be shocking to you, but we don't do it. We're not Hassan Campbell over here. We don't just sit in the crib and just dog out leaders that helped us out, and we ain't did a goddamn thing in the community. We don't do that over here. That's not us. Let me pin this link up. Pin it up there. Okay, I got that pinned up here. So let's just start off with, one thing about him is he had a voice, y'all. Dr. King had a voice that damn near would make you want to cry. I already know who this dude. I already know. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's get this out of the way. Let's get this out of the way because I've seen you trolling dogs, and I want to get you. I want to get you out of here real fast. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna get you out of here real fast. I already know what you come to do. I'm gonna get you out of here real fast, though, man. If you start acting up, I'm gonna get you out of here real fast. We can start it off like this, but hold on, give me a second. I saw your stuff. You're actually the reason why I made this subscriber only. You actually the reason why I made this subscriber only. So what's up, man? What you got to say? Speak. May Cross, speak. You on here. What you got to say? Just so y'all, I ain't this is him right here. But I gotta tell y'all this. I'm not gonna some of y'all, if I don't know you, I won't be playing your face because what they're doing now is people are starting to come on and they're starting to play pornos to get people channel ripped down. So I'm gonna, if I don't know you, I'm gonna be a little skeptical of totally having your face. But you just talked all that mess, May Cross. You came in here and I put you up there. It took only a second for you to get off. Okay, put you up there again. What you got to say, man?
Hello.
What you got to say?
All right. So why do you support Kwame Brown?
This ain't about Kwame Brown right now. We talking about Martin Luther King. Next question. Next question.
Why are you afraid to answer my question on that one?
No. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Because you're talking about this beta stuff and all this.
Yeah, you're kind of a beta for following Kwame Brown. That's what Kwame Brown is. You know, Kwame Brown commented on Tommy Sotomayor.
We're not gonna do it like that, man. We're not gonna do it like that. Just to let y'all know, he's still there. We're not gonna do it like that. You talking about this beta and all this stuff? You know what a beta is? A beta would let somebody that don't show their face come on there and steer they show the way that they want. Why did you mute me? That's a beta.
So it's because you can't debate me. Okay, I knew it. I knew it. Why? It's because you can't debate me. You can't debate me. Why? Scared. You're so scared. Scared coward. Debate me. You can't
even show your face.
You won't even debate. You don't need to show my face.
What's up with you?
Moxy, what's good, bro?
Man, chilling. What's going on with you, man?
Man,
yo, what's the word?
Man, I was up here strolling through these YouTube streets and I seen the friend of foe and I seen the topic. I had to step up here, man. You coming with another great topic, man.
Yeah. What do you know about Martin Luther King? Other than what we all know about him.
Well, I'm from Atlanta. I know a lot about the brother.
Woo, talk about it. Talk about it.
All right, so like being a dude from Atlanta and knowing the realness about MLK, the symbol of Martin Luther King is a great symbol, but the man behind the symbol, I'm just gonna be real, he was naive up until a certain point, and we gotta remember he did die young, so. Like, we not on the same stuff that we was on when we was 19, 20, 21 years old.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Hold on, brother. I missed a super chat. The offer of integrity was hypocritical. Integration. Yes, I like that. But keep going on. You basically are in line with what we're talking about on this stream. As basically saying, as you got older, you started finding out about, this stuff about Martin Luther King. Am I correct?
Oh yeah, about the FBI letters and stuff when they was talking about how he was a sexual deviant. I mean, even though the FBI is corrupt, but bro was out here knocking him down for real. It didn't matter. He was all about he don't see color when it comes to them ladies for real.
So, all right, now let me ask you this, because people are always going to say this. I'm going to say this right now. That was a different time than the time we living in. Those times were very what's the best word to use it? I don't want to use no word that a feminist would use. But male power's in full effect back then, if you get what I'm saying.
Niggas get shot every day, people.
Oh yeah. That's why I be telling people why you think him and JFK was able to be so cool and connect. It's because of the females. They both like them. They both like the hoes. Let's keep it 100.
All right, now let me ask you this, and then we gonna get Ludwig to say something because he been sitting there for a minute. Let me ask you this: what you've heard about him and about his being an adulterer, or what they want to call him, a womanizer, does it make you look at him differently?
It don't, because I'm a man, so I understand man needs. But I also look at him in a different light, because it was like, bro, you was trying to put on this persona, this whole, I'm this type of guy, I'm a, faithful man to my wife, and, I'm in the church, I'm this, that, and the third. And I get it, because you was trying to not tarnish your image because of what you was trying to do. But a lot of people don't know, a lot of that non-violence and a lot of that ideology that he was kicking wasn't even his own ideology. It was another dude, I forget the brother name, but he was a homosexual. So how it is nowadays to be a homosexual. Think about how it was back in the day. Ain't nobody gonna be paying attention to you and listening to what you're saying, even though you might be speaking facts and truth. So he had basically used MLK as a voice or a vessel to push out his non-violence ideology. And then at the end, MLK was like, yo, I steered y'all niggas wrong. You feel me? My dream I thought I had, it was a nightmare. It's about that money. It's about getting that bag. As soon as he changed it up from non-violence to talk about getting some money, talking about the 40 acres and the mule, what the country owes us, what this government owes us, they offed him.
Man, you are right on. Hey, first of all, brother, you made it on the right stream. You on the right stream right now. Hold on, I'm gonna play something, man. I think I'm gonna have troll time too, because I know y'all, as much as y'all don't act like y'all don't like this, y'all like when the trolls come on. So I'm gonna have a little bit of troll time, because I think this motherfucker done came up with another account and came back.
Hey, niggas get shot every day, people.
Came back, but yes, I'm actually prepared for what you're talking about here. I'm about to play this real quick. This is what they don't. This is the Martin Luther King also that they did not teach us about. Hold on, let's go ahead. Since you mentioned it, I'm gonna play it while you on here. Hold on, let's see. Let's see. Here we go, right here. Yep. Here we go. All right, let's let him cook. And this was right around the time when he was assassinated, because it's in color.
6 months beforehand.
That the problems of racial injustice and economic injustice cannot be solved without a radical redistribution of political and economic power.
We read one day, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But if a man doesn't have a job or an income, he has neither life, nor liberty, and the possibility for the pursuit of happiness. He merely exists. Estimated that we spend $322,000 for each enemy we kill in Vietnam, while we spend in the so-called war on poverty in America only about $53 for each person classified as poor. The promises of the Great Society.
He was cooking. He was cooking. He was cooking. There's also something I want to let y'all know. They don't talk about this a lot. Blacks, he had a bad approval rating amongst black people during these times. He did not have a good approval rating. Also, the media was tearing him up during these times also. Right now, they act like this man is just Black Jesus. It's period. They grew up teaching us that he was like Black Jesus. They did not respect him like that during these times, nor did black people. I got some of this on here that I'm gonna put on here, but he had a horrible approval rating. A horrible approval rating.
Have been shot down on the battlefield of Vietnam, making the poor, white and Negro, bear the heaviest burdens both at the front and at home. The other thing I want you to understand is this, that it didn't cost the nation 1 penny to integrate lunch counters. It didn't cost the nation 1 penny to guarantee the right to vote. But now we are dealing with issues that cannot be solved without the nation spending billions of dollars and undergoing a radical redistribution of economic power. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all what. This man, his cadence was just immaculate. Even to this day, his cadence was immaculate. Let me get Ludwig in here. What's up with you, Ludwig?
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, man? How do you feel about this topic, or what's up? Since I don't know, new person.
Yeah.
I'm a little uneasy with some of y'all new people, but go ahead, man. How do you feel about this topic, or what's on your mind?
I'm trying to formulate an opinion about him. I have to say, overall, I can't really find much to respect about his actual policies and whatnot, considering that he's basically behind the civil rights movement of the 1960s and whatnot, and then the whole Christian aspect. I don't really see it as congruent. I don't see what he was fighting for as – I see it as fighting for him and his people, but I don't see any type of universal morality, which I think Christianity is pretty much about. It's about the golden rule, do unto others what you want done to yourself. I see him, and I'll even point to some of those drunken recordings, supposedly, where he's talking about his lust for white women. It kind of goes to show my point. Like,
we have a private chat. Where is this? Where can I find this information about him saying he has a lust for white women?
There's information about like a drunken rant of his. I mean, I got the Wikipedia up. Let me see if that's up there.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on this stream. We hear all voices here. As long as it's on topic, we hear all voices. Put that in the private chat, and I'm gonna put it on screen for everybody to see. And we're gonna go through it because I got some stuff myself also. But yeah, no one is trying to silence you. Yeah. I like this. This is the type of stuff.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all human, and I think humans are all self-interested to some degree. So.
Right. Okay. Now let me go back to something that you said. I disagree with what you were saying about. I understand what you were saying about this being a universal thing, but you got to understand, even at that time, we had way less rights than what we have now. Way less rights. So he was trying to make it to where we was at least on an even plane first. You see what I'm saying? So I hear you with the Christian aspect and it being universal. He was using the Christian aspect to point out how you were saying it's supposed to be universal, but it was not. And don't forget America, and I'm gonna stick by this. You're gonna hear this on other channels. I'm already knowing you're gonna hear this on other channels. I'm the first one to say it. This is the first country ever in the history of humanity. If I'm wrong, you point out another country that started off a country document-wise. I'm not talking about just behavior, document-wise, on a hatred of another group of people. There's no, even Germany did not start off their company or their country on the hatred of a group of people. This country started it off on, all right, first, as we start this country, let's just say y'all niggas is what, 3/5 of a man. Let's start it off with that. Like, there's no other country we have like that.
But Moxy, on some real G shit though, this is really not a country, it's a corporation. So when you kept saying company, you were right. This company was started. Like, when you start out with a company, all you really trying to do is target a marketing group and also size up your competitors. We were the competitors. So that's why
you said there isn't another group of people that base their country on the hatred of
Hold
others?
on, wait. Introduce yourself, man. Who are you, man?
Name's Linux. So what were you saying? You said there was no other country that built their...
Maycross?
No, we're on topic. You said there's no other country that built their lineage and country off of hatred of others, right? Did you just say
document-wise.
Document-wise? Well, the Aztecs did it.
Huh?
The Aztecs did it. Also,
they
I got
never
a question.
had a country, man.
They had a whole
they had a civilization that was wiped out.
Yeah, either and where's their documents that started? Where's their documents?
Wait, I got a question. Do you know what congruent means?
Congruent?
I'm asking the host.
Yeah. What are you trying to get at, man? Get to your point.
But are you gonna answer my question? Do you know what congruent means?
This is Maycross.
And now you were bobbing your head up and down after you said congruent, like you knew what it actually meant. You fucking Kwame Brown follower, bro.
Oh, there we go. He showed his true colors right there.
The hatred for others.
You're such a fucking loser, bro.
Because you don't have no friends.
You
don't have no friends. I'm gonna let you get a minute of just getting it off your chest.
You follow Kwame Brown, and he literally
does
the shit you said you hate. He talks about men without even speaking to them. He talks all day about Tommy Sotomayor, and yet you still follow this dude. He won't even FaceTime you head on. What a coward, bro. Grow some balls, dude. This is the dude you follow. What a fucking loser, dude. Yeah, and it's so funny. You won't even answer the question I asked. I asked, how is Kwame Brown not a beta? What? He actually is. You're so sad, dude.
This is what you waste your energy on, right?
It's not what I waste my energy on. I'm waiting for him to answer my question. I had a question asked. Why do you follow Kwame Brown?
I'm giving you the floor, man. Get it all on out, man.
Okay, why do you follow Kwame Brown? Can you answer that question?
And what is the question you trying to ask me?
I said, why do you follow Kwame Brown?
Man, this is not about Kwame Brown.
Why? No. I wanted to know why you said you were going to give the floor to me, but you're afraid to answer this question.
I'll get you the floor.
Why do you follow him?
Whatever's on your mind.
Yes, why do you follow him?
You're not about to change this into the Kwame Brown stuff. We talking about Martin Luther King.
Well, I'm going to just state the record straight. Kwame Brown spoke about another man who wasn't bothering him and lied on him.
I brought him on just to kick him off. I'm like, I brought him off just to kick. I feel good with kicking motherfuckers off right there.
You know what the thing, man? You know what the thing I think with MLK Jr.?
Yes, keep going.
I think it kind of makes sense because America is sort of based upon this whole equality thing, right? With the Constitution and all that. Now, if he was like going to Europe or Asia trying to do what he did, then I think I have a problem with it. Or if someone were to go to Africa and just be like, you have to accept us, right? But America is technically, it's like a melting pot, kind of in a way.
It was supposed to be.
It's just a wild place with it's been no rules ever since, at least like the 1500s or whatever. It's just a bunch of immigrants from everywhere and Native Americans. And there's even possibilities. Some people think like California was home to native black people before even like, have you ever heard of this?
Sir, black Africans started up Los Angeles. I can pull an article up for that right now.
What do you mean?
Pyramids and hieroglyphics.
Black Africans established the city of Los Angeles. I can pull that up for you right now.
You're talking like in the 1800s?
1700s.
Okay, well, I don't know, but I'm just, that's what I mean.
Khalifa, do you know what California is named after? Queen
Khalifa. Exactly. That's what I was talking about.
I appreciate you on here. I ain't gonna lie, you only like the fourth white person I've ever had on the stream, and you're the most respectable, man.
I'm just trying to be a truther, and I don't know. No one knows the history. There's a lot of people studying the history. So, like I said, if MLK was doing what he was doing in Europe, I would have a problem with it. But in America, I understand everyone can fight for equality, I guess, for no rules, no racial segregation, I guess.
Okay, why would you have a problem with it if he did this in Europe? Hold on 1 second. I got 53 people in here. Please hit that like button. Hit that like button for me. But go ahead. Go ahead,
because I feel like every group, every race of people around the world deserves the right to exist. And it works out pretty well. Like we have Africa, we have Asia, we have Europe, and then basically we have South America, and then we have America, which is a melting pot. But like, I think it's like every race has a home base kind of. Now, genocide is going to be wrong to anybody, I think. So everyone should have the right to, have their own homeland, I think. But I guess America might not be that place.
No, don't forget he was this place had a whole group of people here that 98% of them was killed. 98% was killed, like to the point where we really don't even really know. We have an idea of what these people really look like, but because of the $5 Indian bill, things got kind of confused, and 98% of the people that we can ask about this are gone. So, but you brought up some very good points, man. Hey, I got that StreamYard link up. As long as y'all ain't Maycross, y'all all welcome to come on in here. Let's go through the chat a little bit. Let's go through the chat. I had a super chat that I missed, man. I apologize. I'm gonna try to find that super chat. I saw y'all on there. I'm dealing with heavy trolls today. I like it though. I like the trolls coming on here because I know y'all like it too. Y'all like to see these trolls come on here, talk that shit, and get their ass kicked off. It's totally fine. But let's go through some of these tracks. Besides MLK, what else are they trying to play us? Y'all need to examine what rights you think you have. Moxy in the chat, your good looks. Check stub. Yeah, I know. Tammy Dorsey. Dr. King was for his people and he realized he had been played toward the end of his life. That's why he said he's led his people into a burning building. There's some points with that. Karen King on Facebook. I like Karen King on Facebook. Right, Ashley, but it's not. Yeah, that's not the topic. But I know y'all like when these trolls come on here. I ain't gonna let them take the show over. You can sprinkle one in between every now and then, get them out of here. But I ain't gonna never let them take the show over. In fact, let me let this video play out, and we're gonna get back to our two callers. Let's let this video play a little bit more. Let's let them keep going, and I'm gonna put some of y'all chats up. We having fun today. I'm glad I decided last night to do this, and I'm glad I'm having fun. And don't worry, I'm gonna make this announcement now. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a live stream. So if y'all want to come on here, all y'all motherfuckers that's mad that I'm affiliated with Kwame Brown, I'm gonna do a live stream for y'all tomorrow, just for y'all. And y'all all come on here and say whatever y'all want to say, just so you don't be, he don't give anybody a voice. He doesn't let me speak. He's a beta male. No, I'm gonna give y'all a voice tomorrow. So if y'all want to make cross, if you listening, I'll let you come on here if you could talk like a man tomorrow. All that screaming and trying to overtalk me on my own platform, that ain't gonna work, okay? But I know it's more like you. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a live stream just for y'all.
All labor has dignity.
Yes.
But you're doing another thing. You are reminding not only Memphis, but you are reminding the nation that it is a crime for people to live in this rich nation and receive starvation wages. America's opportunity to help bridge the gulf between the haves and the have-nots. And the question is whether America will do it. There's nothing new about poverty. What is new is that we now have the techniques and the resources to get rid of poverty. And the real question is whether we have the will.
At the very same time that America refuse to give the Negro any land.
I'm sorry, baby. You see, I've been dealing with trolls. You see, I'm dealing with trolls today. I appreciate you. Rashida! Oh, that's Rashida! Oh, you done changed your look up, girl? Look at you. You looking sexy as ever, Rashida. What's up? Hey, I got twice as many more trolls when you was around. I appreciate you, Rashida. You gave me another one too. I saw it. You gave me another one. I'm missing out on a lot of these. Damn, I'm missing out on a lot of comments, man. But that's just what it is. Rashida. I got that link up. Y'all can come on and link and talk y'all shit about Martin Luther King. Also, I wanted to talk about this. You still there with me, E? E brought up a point that I wanted to talk about that they never talk about. I'm gonna let this play a little bit. It's only a little bit left in this. We can play the whole joint. It's a part of the speech I wanted to get to though.
Through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise.
Do you hear what he's saying? We was not taught this part of Martin Luther King. Do you hear what he's saying? He's basically saying, not only do y'all have stuff that's against us on us trying to get out of poverty, you're pretty much giving over state and government money that we all have to put into taxes to poor white people. And you're giving them large swaths of land and you're teaching them how to farm. And you know that they're going to pass that down from generation to generation. You don't hear that part of Martin Luther King, do you? Right? How many times have some of y'all met some of these white people that say, it's all equal here in America? My father, he came from Yugoslavia. He had $5 in his pocket and he worked real hard. Your father got a motherfucking loan from this fucking government. He didn't work no harder than anybody else. They're doing the same thing with immigrants today. I had to pay $15,000 in New York City taxes, not state. Not state. I had to pay $15,000 in 2021. $15,000. That ain't a little bit of money. That's a fucking new car. And just city taxes. You know what they're doing? They're giving grants to illegal immigrants in New York City with my fucking money. Immigrants that got bad shit to say about us. My father had $5 and he came from Russia. My father had $2 and he came from Spain and he worked hard. Your father got help.
And farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today, many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check. I come here tonight.
I almost missed that.
We are coming to get our check. I come here tonight and plead with you. Believe in yourself and believe that you're somebody. As I said to a group last night, nobody else can do this for us. No document can do this for us. No Lincolnian Emancipation Proclamation can do this for us. No
Kennisonian or Johnsonian civil rights bill can do this for us. If the Negro is to be free, he must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with the pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation.
Talk that shit. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all this. This is what hold on, let me bring baby girl up. Hey, is you there, E? I think E done dropped off. What's up, Rashida? How you doing?
I'm doing fine, Moxy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you been, girl?
I've been doing good.
What you think about, what is your feelings on Martin Luther King?
I feel like Martin Luther King was a rider. They only want to show the peaceful Martin Luther King, but they don't show the footage like you showed about him trying to get us reparations and all that type of stuff. So yes, Martin Luther King was a rider. He's a friend.
Hold on 1 second. Let me close this balcony door. It got cold in here now. Here we go. Yes. Now, because Martin Luther King been cooking. It's some other stuff about Martin Luther King. I got some more material. I'm liking this right now because he's spitting bars right now. But there's also, have you heard about the dark side of Martin Luther King?
Yeah, they said he was being with like white women and stuff like that. He cheated on his wife and all that type of stuff. But I don't believe it. I just think they just trying to throw dirt on him since he was a good person. And it just seemed like no black person can come out the game clean. You know what I'm saying? Like they always want to dirty up somebody's reputation if they did good work.
You made some points right there. That's one thing I want to say, and that's what's so polarizing about Martin Luther King, because it's a lot of information out there. Supposedly, a lot of this stuff is in the FBI files that's sealed. They keep pushing back the date to let it out, and I know why. I'm gonna keep that in my final monologue on why they keep pushing back when they're gonna put out the FBI seals, but when they're gonna unseal the FBI files. But you made a point right there. We don't know what to believe because it don't matter. This man is a political figure, a black political figure, so they're gonna try to tear him down any way it goes. So we don't know what to believe. You're 100% right on there. But let me ask you this. If there was 100% proof that this man, because they said this man cheated on his wife with like 50 different women, if you found out that was true, would it change how you feel about Martin Luther King?
No, because he did good work.
Would you be married to a man like Martin Luther King?
No, because I cut a man's dick off if he cheat on me.
So wait a minute. This is good. This is going deep. Look at what this guy did, right? He changed history. It wasn't just him, but according to American history, he's the one that did it for us. So, because you want his dick to yourself, you would cut his dick off and change up humanity for the rest of everybody. Talk to me now, Rashida.
Yes. Because he ruined if a man cheats on a woman and you have kids involved into that, because it's a family unit. If a man goes outside, I look at marriage as a business, right? If you go out and trade secrets with another company, you're ruining your business. So if you go out there and cheat with other women, you're ruining the family, you ruin the business.
But there's a lot with this. And I'm just going to tell you, as a man that has been in Hollywood, as a man that has been on TV a dozen times, meaning that I have experienced some stuff and I've been around people that's on higher levels than me than what I was as far as some Hollywood stuff. And what I mean by that is when you have somebody that is known by the masses, it is hard as a man to turn down all these women that's in your face. Do you
don't think it's hard for Coretta that's her name? Martin Luther King wife, Coretta?
Coretta Scott King.
Okay, do you think it's like men were checking for her about her being Martin Luther King's wife?
Yeah, but that's a different day. You got to understand there were no Cardi B's back then. There was no Megan Thee Stallion
How we
back
know?
then.
How we know? How we know?
No, what do you mean? You can look at the music. They didn't have that kind of music back then. So,
but still, they still talk about sex coded back then. It was coded. You know what I'm saying? So we already know what the songs mean back in the day. So you don't think that she earned for some streams sometime?
Well, one of the things about back then is men definitely had held down more power back then, and I'm pretty sure there's no way of knowing, but I'm pretty sure there's people trying, that looked at Coretta Scott King for a certain type of way. But when a woman has a whole bunch of kids with a man, that's another man, especially in those days, that's another man's property. You know what I mean? And
some of the men don't care.
Hold on one second, and I'll let you get it out. I'm pretty sure back then in the different times, it's less likely for another man to want to step on another man like Martin Luther King's toes. Maybe it's possible, but I don't think it was tit for tat back then. We think more of that today. Oh, this nigga doing that. Well, I'm gonna do that when this nigga. That's more today. The 50s and the 40s, they were not like that. It was definitely more of the feminist movement didn't even take hold back then at that time. So it was a different time out there. Wait a minute, I'm starting to see something. Are you back, E? I saw him down there doing something. But go ahead on that, Rashida. And I got the chat up. If any of y'all want to come here and talk about this, the link is in there. And it's 54 of y'all in here. Please hit that like button. Okay, he's gonna show his face this time. Hey, E, can you hear? Your mic don't work, dogs.
He had to turn sideways so I could get a full view.
But go ahead, Rashida. How you feel about that?
But I just feel like that, what I'm saying, that he's a preacher, right? And he also a scholar.
That's a fact.
So he has kids. And plus he has men kids. He bringing up boys to be men. So if this is what we're going to teach our kids, to cheat on your wife, to break up the family unit?
Well, this is another thing. He didn't teach. This is all stuff that was in the background. He didn't.
Yeah, I know it's in the background, but don't you think those kids now know? You know what I'm saying? His image is tarnished with the family. You cheated on our mother.
I think the grown men know, such as myself. I don't think the kids know. They didn't teach us that. I don't think they changed it and was teaching the kids that.
But sometimes
in high school and in elementary, I don't think they teaching that even to this day.
But I'm just saying though, do you think that it's something like, say for instance, if your mother and father is cheating on each other, you don't think the kids would know the behavior, the atmosphere, and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure Martin Luther King's kids saw some stuff. But guess what? They all love and respect their father, and they following down the same footsteps as he is. One of them is fighting hard against gay rights and said that my father did not stand for LGBTQ rights. It was a girl, one of the girls he got. Hold on one second. We got 52 people in here. Hit that like button. Yo, E, I see you, dogs. Your mic
ain't working.
Your mic is done. We can't hear you, man. All right, you ain't gonna play no porno.
You about to log in and log out.
Yeah, you gotta log in and log out. You can't hear you.
I'll probably reset his whole phone. You know how you turn your phone, power your phone off.
Right. Hold on. Black Light Revelations. You are very good at this research and stuff. You're welcome to come on here and share some of these facts. If you got any links, come on here. I would love to have you on here. This is one of them streams, man, where we need that research heavy stuff. This is one of them streams. But go ahead, Rashid. I just want to add to that. The kids probably saw some of that and probably understood that. But look at me. I grew up in a household where I was pretty sure that my dad was doing some stuff, but it didn't like change the way I looked at my father. It didn't make me look at my mom lower. Anything that I look at my mom lower was stuff that my mom decided to do to me on her own, that I wish my father would have stepped in, but it didn't change the way I looked at either one of them, and I was pretty sure that my father was cheating on my mom. So I hear what you're saying, but you have some points, and that's the part of us with the friend or foe, because he was a pastor, but they were saying that he was, had a lot of womanizing things going on. Here, let me bring on E first. E,
you can hear me, bro?
I hear you now.
Yeah, now he's back.
All right, bro, because I was up there hearing what she was saying and stuff, and I was like, so you don't think Coretta ain't have a side nigga while he was out here in these streets doing what he was doing, and she know he was doing what he was doing? Because back in the day, the women were different. They find out their husband was cheating. All right, bet. They'll go and step out and go ahead get pregnant by some light-skinned, yellow-bone nigga, come back and name the baby after the daddy, knowing damn well that ain't his son. They was different back then.
Wait, hold on. They doing that now, sir.
I'm saying though,
back then they were more confined to their roles, man. Not only that, back then a man could damn near beat and damn near kill his wife for something like that, and damn near get off with it. I'm just gonna be real.
Hey, niggas get
I'm just gonna be real.
If that man know that he out here stepping out, or got him another family across the street, or they cousin is really his son, come on, you know how it was back then. Like that, man. I'm telling you, bro. Big Mama will go and go have another little Johnny, and Johnny Jr. will be light skinned and don't look nothing like the other siblings and shit.
That's been going on since forever, but I will say that wasn't as prevalent as it is today. Right now, we in the time where women will use a pussy as ways of retaliation and stuff like that. Back then, women were more into their roles, because just like what I said, men had way more power. However unfair it was, you could really beat your woman to a fucking pulp and almost kill her and get away with it. Get away with it back then. It was not like India. The way India is now, that's how it was back then. Like, you know how India is? If you in India find out that your wife is cheating on you, you in front of the whole village in India can beat her. And I'm not condoning this or anything, but I saw a video live leak on liveleak.com. That's where you see all the crazy videos. This man found out that his wife was cheating on him in India. He put her in a shish kebab. He literally tied her up, put her on a wooden stick, and put an apple in the broad mouth, and was spinning over hot fire coals in front of the whole fucking village. In front of the whole village. I don't condone stuff like that, but yeah, back in those days, it was a different time. So we got some new people on here. Let's flesh it out. Let's flesh it out, because y'all all new. A lot of y'all new. I want to make sure I ain't got no trolls on here. First of all, let me bring Rashida back on. She a regular. Hold on, let's bring some other people out here and see what's going on. We got the letters. So this letter is C. What's up, C?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Okay, and it don't sound like you a troll, man. How's it going? Oh, hold on, I'm gonna add a couple more people on here, and we're gonna do a round robin, because I still have some stuff to present. I got some documents to show y'all and stuff like that. Ahmed, are you there, Ahmed? No, can't do it.
What was that?
It was a porno. Can't do it.
Wow.
Hey, I'm the feet, man.
I thought I seen somebody trying to ride somebody on there.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew somebody was gonna do that. I already called it out. I knew somebody was gonna do that. Can't do it, man. Hold on.
What kind of stuff you been got going on since I've been gone?
Oh, wait. Let me take a picture of this, because I'm gonna send this to YouTube. Jack Overton, authenticated with YouTube. I got your picture, dogs. And I'm reporting. Yeah, you got out of there. I'm reporting you to YouTube. I'm gonna make sure they ban your whole account. I'm reporting you to YouTube, and I got your picture. I got your picture. I got all your names and all that from YouTube, and I'm reporting you. So JJ Dasher, are you trying to do the same thing? It's some dude named JD Dasher down there.
You have a lot of trolls. What's going on with you now?
Oh, we blowing up. This is what blowing up is.
I mean, you see the Kwame haters.
This is what blowing up is.
Like, I'm like, these dudes are idiots, bro. Like, that really speaks. They want to talk about alpha male, beta male, all that shit, bro. Like, this really speaks to what you these tactics you got to do to try to goddamn knock another man off his square and shit. You feel me?
Yeah, I think I got that out in time. I think I did, but just to make sure, when this stream is done, I'm probably gonna erase it. I'm probably gonna have to erase this one. Or yeah, I'm erasing
put
it
on a
and
membership
back up with that part out of it. With that part out of it, I'm gonna put. But I've been waiting on them. They've been doing this to channels, man. It's almost to the point where I don't know if I should have anybody with their camera on here. Let me try this dude. I'm quick on the trigger though. Hey man, you're not about to play a porno, is you, man?
Hell no, I just got out the shower.
Wait, what?
oh he's naked.
Hey, he think
you talking about y'all bugging talking about porno and all that. Don't get on no trying to categorize me because somebody else did some other foul shit. Right.
Did you just see what happened?
I mean, but that doesn't mean that the next person coming gonna be with the same thing. That don't mean you carry those feelings towards the next person.
I asked you. There's nothing wrong with somebody asking.
That's like if your ex cheated on you, you ain't gonna go into the next relationship. I'm finna get cheated on too because the last person cheated on me.
My nigga, this is a live stream. We are not dating, dog. Like,
but look, this all I wanted to say though, because a lot of people be wanting to support the whole MLK thing without really thinking about it. Like, I don't believe nobody in this generation would have been no pacifists in the 60s or the 50s when these people were coming in, burning down homes and shit. And the way people be trying to support that movement, I be like, man, y'all hypocrite, because y'all would not. I know I wouldn't have been down with it. It's an eye for an eye, two for a two. So if you burn my shit down, I'm trying to burn your shit down too.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. Well, that's something. Hold on, you got some reverb. You got to turn the volume down on your side, man. You got to relay.
I gotta turn the volume down.
Turn the video volume on. I can hear myself through your screen.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know how to do all that, fam. This my first time ever being on some live stream and all this shit.
I appreciate you, bro. And yeah, that's why we doing this live stream, because we want to look at all the different sides of Martin Luther King.
But before you go, cause it's some stuff that people really don't be researching. Like, you can actually go back and see Martin Luther King inside. Go pull up newspaper articles. You know what I'm saying? That's how you really find out about the tales of that time. Go read books about that era. Read newspaper clippings. They gonna tell you that he was in cahoots with the government. They gonna let you know about who all his affiliates were and all the shit he was doing. Like, it's bigger than like Kwame saying, other people say they give us our leaders. Martin Luther King was given to us. I don't think nobody really appointed him to the pedestal that he was on. The government did that. I ain't here I know my grandparents. My grandparents ain't never sit me down and were like, look, Martin Luther King was doing that. And I live in Memphis. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee right now. You can go see the Civil Rights Museum, see the little hotel, and they do all kind of little bullshit trying to perpetuate the lie. Well, we all know it's a lie at this point, but they don't really care.
Man, not everybody knows.
But shit, man, I appreciate you bringing me on, though, man. I'm still gonna check out what y'all talk about up on here. You might see me in the comment section. Don't accuse me of being no troll. I ain't no troll. I don't appreciate the comment, but y'all don't know me.
Nobody accusing you, man. Nobody accusing you of that, man. You good?
That. When I first came on, there was a lot of hee ha ha giggles. The young lady was like, what you got going on? A lot of trolls in here. Y'all already got that energy. Don't be thinking people up in the chat room are trolls. You never know who these people are. Wait till they get on here and you can hear them speak.
That is true, man.
That's all I'm saying.
You have to understand, right before you came up, somebody had a dick on the screen. Like,
I understand. You said it was a porno. I heard it. You said it was a porno. A dude was sitting down. You said you go report him and all that. I heard everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna report him.
It was crazy. I understand bullshit happened.
I'm about to report him because where he
Well,
messed up is I clicked on his picture and his IP and everything came up here. He don't know what I got going here on this side. I'm sending it to YouTube on him. He gonna get that shit. If he got subs or got anything going on with that account, that's it for him. That's it for him. But anyways, thank you, JD.
Well, I want to say that. I want to say that because YouTube allows a lot of shit up on this app. So I want to say that he be finished just because of that. I want to say he be finished because of that. Like they go finish who they want to finish. They go look at see what he post and what he talk about, and then they'll base their decision on that.
That's a fact.
But just because
you can come on here anytime. I'm gonna go back to C and what C got to say. But yeah, man, you can come back on here anytime, JD.
Man, say no more. Say no more.
Do that side, man.
Like, man, I had comment on your page because, like I said, I just recently got up on you when Kwame had shared your little Hassan video. Like, I've been in your chat, some idiot in there might be trying to argue with me. It's just these people out here, they lost in the sauce. Like I told you, and let me say this before I go. Like, I don't want to interrupt you. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna get out your business. Man, I ask that you bring up the awareness of this followers mentality. Like, black people, we've been programmed to become followers. Like, and I got this for any female who watching this. Just answer me this. Did y'all grow up seeing y'all mothers twerk? Like, every time you see your mama hear a song, did you see her bend over and shake her ass? Y'all did not see that. Y'all did not grow up seeing y'all fathers sag. We've been sagging 20 years.
God damn it, man. I gotta start. Listen, tomorrow I'm doing a live stream, free for all. We can talk about whatever. This the Martin Luther King, man.
Say no more.
Come on tomorrow.
All
right. Okay, C. What's up with you, C?
Yeah, I shared a link in the chat.
Okay. Let me see if I can get. Okay, I see it. King Institute Vietnam War.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that, but first, I just wanted to say that you know, I did think a certain type of way about Martin Luther King, you know, because as the brother before said that, you know, he was, you know, I would say manufactured or given to us, you know, by what they call the boule now, you know, black ruling class. But I would say that, you know, and I think he went off the farm, and that's the reason why they killed him. But I just want to say the impact, you know, that I have seen of Martin Luther King, not to black people, but around, you know, regular people across the planet. You know, I travel internationally. You know, I've been to Chile, and, you know, I remember being in Chile, and, you know, I don't speak Spanish, but they were saying I could understand Martin Luther King when they were seeing me. You know what I'm saying? And so they know about Martin Luther King. You know, I've been to, when I left Philadelphia, you know, and I went out west, you know, they had a Martin Luther King parade. And I went, you know, they don't have parades like that in Philadelphia. So I went to the parade. There was not one black person. There was a bunch of Mexicans celebrating and marching for Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, the world sees Martin Luther King a little bit different. You know, we're a little bit more critical of our own, you know, leaders.
Okay, stop for a second, brother. You brought up something about the black boule. Yeah. Do you really know about the black boule and what's involved with the black boule? Because I don't. I know about the Alpha Phi Alpha, and I know people are saying that's connected to the black boule, but I'm not really that knowledgeable about it. And that's another reason why I like doing these streams, that hopefully I can have somebody come up here that can embellish on this more. But here's the pictures from the Alpha Phi Alpha. Is this part of what you were talking about?
Not specifically, but the black ruling class, you know, it was like W.E.B. Du Bois and them. They formed the town in order to go against Marcus Garvey. You know, that's from what I remember, as far as from what I know. So, you know, they formed the Greek organizations. They teamed the NAACP. They formed the Urban League and all these organizations, you know, as a black ruling class, you know, and they worked with, because people don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but W.E.B. Du Bois worked with the FBI to take down Marcus Garvey.
Exactly.
And his whole crew, you know, him and his whole crew, the black ruling class. And so they brought up Martin Luther King. You know, he came up through that group. And I think that he went off the farm. You know, I think that when he started talking about Vietnam, and when he specifically about Vietnam, you know, I think that that's when he was really marked for death. You know, because you're going against the military-industrial complex, which the black ruling class supported. You know, and you know, that's when he started losing support. You know, the whisper campaigns and all this against him by black people. You know, to judge, because first they got to kill your character before they kill you. And so they started, you know, talking about him, you know, whisper campaign, calling him a communist and all this and that. And he lost support, and then they killed him, you know. And that article kind of shows that, you know, if you look at paragraph 3 in that article, where it talks about, you know, how they were saying that he shouldn't talk about Vietnam.
Oh, that is right. Let's go to that. My fault. You did do the right thing. You sent me an actual link. Let's go to that. My fault.
And why you pulling that up, to piggyback off what bro was saying, like, the reason why he's known across the planet is because the government realized, okay, the message that he was pushing, we got enough out of him. Now we can go ahead and off him and just push that message. That's why Martin Luther King got a day, a holiday, and and Malcolm X don't have one, or Marcus Garvey don't have one. And about the Boule, also, it's also a Boule agenda on how they depict black people in the media, and they show like the safe Negro, the thug, and this is why they do these repetition of these images, because they're attacking the subconscious and trying to implement this into the mind of the people that's watching this. So that's why when people come into this country, not even taking a breath in this land yet, already have a perceived notion about black people before they step in off the images that they're being projected about black people in their country.
And that's the black ruling class. See, people don't really, you know, people don't talk about this, so I don't know if people think about this or not, as far as the black ruling class, because we are the only people that are not allowed to talk about the people that look like us, but that are against us. You know what I'm saying? If you look at that third paragraph where it talks about, you know, how he would lose support amongst civil rights people and the Congress, and people have to remember the Lyndon Johnson administration. Okay, so I just want to ask this question. Okay, just understand this. Okay, so you got Martin Luther King. He starts talking about the war. You know, how we not supposed to be in this war. He starts uniting, you know, poor people. He starts asking for us to get, you know, for us to get a check. You know what I'm saying? And making us right. And all of a sudden he starts losing support amongst black people. Black people are calling him a communist, right? Then, and now this is we gotta remember, Lyndon Baines Johnson is a Democrat.
Yes.
Democrat administration. The FBI was run by Democrats. Okay. The Department of Justice is run by Democrats at this time. Okay.
Well, the Democrats as a whole, from then all the way to today, has done more to destroy the black community than anybody.
Exactly.
But Pete Game, though, as soon as he gets killed, all these black leaders all become Democrats. They all become Democrat politicians. They all start falling into, you know, the whole Democratic apparatus. That was their payoff. You know, if someone killed your man, would you be part of their party?
No. Yeah, and you're right about that. A lot of
they just say the government killed him. No. It was the Democrat administration that killed him. And
man, bro was set up by his own people.
They all joined the Democrat Party, and then they all started destroying our cities, and they all started passing stuff. You know, the welfare, the taking the man out of the house. They passed the crime bill, putting us all in prison. They supported through funding the CIA pumping drugs into our communities. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the black ruling class, and they right there in front of us, but we're not allowed to talk about them.
Because if you talk about them, they'll ostracize you.
These people, huh?
If you talk about them, they'll ostracize you. Like
exactly.
A lot of people want to sit here and talk about, conspiracy theory this, conspiracy theory this. Man,
how they gonna kill your right-hand man and then you join their party? How they gonna kill your man? You're the, you know what I mean? And then you turn around immediately and join their party of the people who killed your man.
Well, I mean, how Rashida was talking, maybe they mad. Maybe she mad that he was cheating on her.
No, I'm talking about Jesse Jackson. I'm talking about.
Yes, let's talk about it then. Let's talk about it.
Lewis. I'm talking about all these people that's supposed to be his guy. They immediately joined the Democrat Party.
Jesse Jackson, if y'all really want to talk about it, Jesse Jackson was the reason he was out there on that balcony.
They saying that
to get shot anyway.
Exactly.
They trying to say I heard that a long time ago that Jesse Jackson set him up.
But it was the black ruling class.
Exactly, which Jesse Jackson is a part of, which Bill Cosby is a part of, which all these black men are a part of. And the reason why, brother, I'm going to give my perspective on why people are not want to talk about it, because at the end of the day, that's still another black man, even though they against us and everything. Like, I'm gonna give an example. It was some brothers on out here, you know, pushing a little, you know, message about red pill, alpha, this, that, and the third and stuff, and they was out here getting doxxed and everything and stuff. I mean, y'all probably heard about the little fresh and fit shit. You feel me? And at first, I was up here on some shit like, yeah, that shit lame. You feel me? But I felt a certain type of way because it was a white dude out here doxing these two dudes that's brown skin. You feel me? But like, I don't support them niggas. They cornballs to me even before the whole Asian dog shit. But the whole point of it is like, it's still another black man. Even though like at work you see that house nigga running around doing the goddamn the shuffle kissing the man ass and shit. You feel me? You still ain't gonna throw the nigga under the bus and shit because that's a black man. You feel me? That's just how my morals were. You feel me? But it's you right, bro. That boule, that black ruling class, that shit real as fuck, bro. And they been out here working since the fucking 50s, 60s, and 70s and shit. If we really gonna talk about it, like, yeah, Jesse Jackson, the reason why the man was out there arguing, talking about some goddamn Jesse put on the goddamn tie. We about to go out here, turn up and get some hoes, bro. Put on the fucking tie, bro. And this nigga
let's talk about it,
bro, because that's the little insight to the goddamn FBI, to the nigga who's pulling the trigger. Nigga without the tie on, he's with us. That's our inside guy. That's not the target.
Let's take a step back now. It goes back to what I was telling y'all earlier, which I'm about to play a little bit of this video right now. It goes back to what I was telling y'all earlier. He had a horrible approval rating amongst blacks back then. The way they teach it to us, because we were not around back then, is that he was Black Jesus back then. That everybody was with him and not too many people was with Malcolm X. That's how, I don't know about y'all, that's how I was taught about him in high school, is that everybody loved him. That is not true. Like, for example, let's listen to this. This one is not that long. Let's listen to this video about when he got stabbed. He got literally stabbed in the back. Literally.
A demented black woman came up. The only question I heard from her was, "You Martin Luther King?" And I was looking down writing and I said, "Yes." The next minute I felt something beating on my chest. Before I knew it, I had been stabbed by this demented woman. I was rushed to Harlem Hospital. It was a dark Saturday afternoon. That blade had gone through, and the x-rays revealed that the tip of the blade was on the edge of
my aorta, the main artery. And once that's punctured, you're drowned in your own blood. That's the end of you. It came out in the New York Times the next morning that if I had merely sneezed, I would have died. Well, about 4 days later, they allowed me, after the operation, after my chest had been opened and the blade had been taken out, to move around in the wheelchair in the hospital. They allowed me to read some of the mail that came in, and from all over the states and the world, kind letters came in. I read a few, but one of them I will never forget. I had received one from the president and the vice president. I've forgotten what those telegrams said. I received a visit and a letter from the governor of New York, but I've forgotten what that letter said. But there was another letter that came from a little girl, a young girl, who was a student at the White Plains High School. And I looked at that letter and I'll never forget it. It said simply, "Dear Dr. King, I am a 9th grade student at the White Plains High School." She said, "While it should not matter, I would like to mention that I'm a white girl. I read in the paper of your misfortune and of your suffering. And I read that if you had sneezed, you would have died. I'm simply writing you to say that I'm so happy that you didn't sneeze. I want to say tonight that I too am happy."
I'm gonna tell y'all what, man. It ain't too many people that got a cadence like him, man. It is not too many people that have a cadence like this. I mean, even to this day, his cadence was uncanny. His cadence was uncanny, man. But
because he was picked and groomed.
I mean, I hear you, man. I'm gonna save a lot for my final monologue.
The nigga graduated high school when he was like, what, 14? When he went to college. Come on, man. Them boule niggas got a hold of him and polish him up. And he come from a church background where every Sunday is repetition to seeing your father practice his sermons multiple times and shit. Man, come on, man. He was polished. And once he got old enough and realized, hold up, there's some bullshit y'all kicking and shit, they was like, hey, they X'd him out the game.
That's exactly what happened. And then they got paid for doing that. Their payoff was political power, business power. They all went into the system. They're the only ones that benefited from anything that went down in the 60s. They the only ones, and they helped and the thing about us, as regular people, we support these people because we naively think that just because they're black, they would never do nothing again. They're black people. They like us. And that is not the case at all.
Exactly.
That is not. There are people. There's a whole group of people who look like us who don't give a damn about us at all. At all.
No, that's a fact. Well, we call them house Negroes. They have a whole city that's almost damn near built to groom these people, and I call it Los Angeles. Like, I don't care. Like,
it's all over though. You feel me? Like, I'm from out here in Atlanta and shit, and it's parts out there in like Alpharetta, Forsyth, like they're being groomed like this. You feel me?
There's house niggas everywhere, dogs. I've lived in Atlanta too. There's house niggas everywhere. There's house niggas out here in New York. You would have to live in LA to see how that culture is out there. LA is the most self-hating black culture you will find anywhere I lived here in America. I've never felt so much self-hatred as I did in LA. It took me a year and a half of New York to shake that LA shit off. I was afraid to do business with other black people because of LA. So I'm gonna always point out how, and there's reason behind it. I might do a whole stream one day on LA and Hollywood, because LA and Hollywood is ran by stereotypes. So we have a very bad stereotype out there, and that's how the whole city acts. I've had some of the worst things done to me by other black people in LA. So we could get to talking about that another time, but There's house Negroes everywhere. They said he was stabbed by a woman. That is very true. He was
They
stabbed by a
running
woman.
the show is what I'm trying to say. They are running everything. They run in Hollywood. They're the influencers. They're the politicians. They're in corporate America. They're all over the government. You know,
They're the gatekeepers
in all the agencies, and we don't look at them like that because they're black. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at black people who've been helping this whole system put their foot all up in our butts. We don't look at them as, you know, people just say the system. Well, wait a minute. They all up in the system. They the ones passing the budgets for these people to do all this stuff to us. They passing the laws for all this stuff that happened to us.
Okay, now hold on 1 second. It's 56 people in here. Please hit that like button. We cooking in this stream. They trying to take us down. We already had somebody come in this stream and try to take the stream down. They're not doing it. But let's enjoy the stream while we have it, because when it's over, I'm probably gonna re-upload it, but I gotta delete this stream when it's over and re-upload it because the dude came in there and tried to get this thing taken down. But it's one thing I want to say back to you, gentlemen, and Rashida, if y'all want to answer this. Let's not take away. I know I'm hearing the black boule and all that stuff, right? And you know he was groomed for this. I hear all y'all on that, but let's not take away the fact that this man. I just played a video where this man got stabbed in the heart, in the chest. Let's not talk about all the videos of him just walking down the street protesting, white boys coming up him with big rocks, smashing his head open. Let's not take that out of the queue. You see what I'm saying? We acting like this man was just walking around giving speeches, getting paid.
Oh no, I respect.
I don't know, man.
I think that
but go ahead.
I think that my view of Martin Luther King has changed because, you know, he changed. That it takes a lot of courage, you know what I'm saying, to go against a power structure like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and so for him to change and really, you know, start advocating for poor people, you know what I'm saying? Saying, we need a check, you know, cut the check, stop playing, you know, and stop bombing all these brown people all over the planet and going against the whole power structure. You know, that takes a lot of courage. I mean, he got killed for it. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And I respect that. And so what I'm saying is that when I brought up, you know, what I've seen in my travels, you know, I'm saying that people, because he took that stand, you know, for poor people and for the military, to stop the military from bombing the brown people, you know, I think the planet, regular people on the planet who are affected by the military industrial complex, you know what I mean, respect him for that. You know what I'm saying? We don't even talk about it because, you know, that's Vietnam. They ain't really got nothing to do with us. But people whose countries are bombed, you know, for these corporations, and they living in dirt, $2 a day and all this and that, they respect the fact that he stood up for them when he really didn't have to. You know what I mean? He could have played it safe.
You know, that's what I'm saying. That I just wanted to make sure, because don't forget, I'm a facilitator. I got to drive it different ways. Now, hold on. This is one part that I want to get to, because this was brought up earlier. E left, but he brought this up earlier, and I did not get a chance to get into this. But I do want to play this. I do want to get into this part. I damn near got through. Oh, no, he didn't talk about this. This is what I'm going to talk about right now. This is what I read a couple years ago, and I was like, damn, they have it out for Martin Luther King. They got it out for him. Hold on. I see you down there, Revelations. I'm a little afraid to have people on camera, but I think I've seen you before. I believe I've seen you before. We got a couple of regulars up in here. All right, now I want to read this, and then I'm going to bring on two more guests. I want to show y'all this real quick. Now we getting into it. Let's get into it. I want to show y'all this. This is when I started to do my own. I knew some of this before, but after this, it caused me to do more research when I read this, because this was on a straight up news site. It wasn't no underground site. This was on a straight up news site, and I'm going to speak about this later on my final monologue, but I want to read this. Sealed FBI audio tapes. This is the businessinsider.com, verifiable media source. Sealed FBI audio tapes allege Martin Luther King Jr. had affairs with 40 women and watched while a friend raped a woman, a report claims. FBI documents from the 1960s allege, I forgot about that R word, excuse me, y'all. I need to watch out, man. FBI documents from the 60s allege Martin Luther King Jr. had affairs with 40 women and stood by as a friend, R word, a woman, a new report said. An article by the King biographer David Garrow, set to be released on Thursday in Standpoint magazine, we detail the FBI memos. Garrow said the memos say King engaged in orgies, solicited prostitutes, and looked on and laughed as a pastor he knew violated a woman. The memos were part of a huge U.S. archive data dump in early 2019. Let's just move down and hear some of it. Documents describing secret FBI. Okay, we read that already. The tapes sealed until 2027. They were supposed to do it this year, 2022. Pushed it back again. Sealed until 2027, and the U.S. National Archives holds recordings from bugs placed in hotel rooms King used in the 1960s. And they suspected his aide, Stanley Levinson, was a communist. Now, we already know they was trying to throw communists on everybody back then. So I don't really care too much from that, but it says the tapes were made part of the FBI surveillance project that began in 1955 and continued until King was assassinated until 68, according to Stanford's Martin Luther King Jr. Research and Education Institute. The FBI was trying to gather negative information about King in hopes of using it to discredit him. Former FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover was personally motivated to bring down King, according to the Institute. Given that context and given Garrow's lack of access, the tapes themselves, in addition to the fact that the Standpoint article has not yet been published, raise questions about the accuracy of the evidence and the motives of the FBI agents who created the documents. So let's not also take that out of the queue, but it said Garrow wrote that the FBI bugged 2 lamps in King's room at the Willard Hotel in Washington in 1964. So what do y'all want to say about that? Let's bring on some other people, and we can do a round robin. Let's bring on some other people. Revelations 9, man. What's up with you, brother?
Hey, shalom.
Shalom, man. What's up with you, man? How's it going?
It's going well, man. I just got on the channel, seen you was talking about something near and dear to me. And I know you're a fellow Israelite, and I wanted to read a little verse out the Bible, but the context is Martin Luther King, though.
Go ahead, man. You already know. This is the time for you to speak, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13.
Read it.
Okay, here we go. Suppose there are prophets among you, or those who have dreams about the future, and they promise you signs or miracles, and the predicted signs or miracles take place. If the prophet then say, "Come, let us worship them. Come, let us worship the gods of foreign nations," do not listen to them. The Lord your God is testing you to see if you love him with all your heart and soul. Serve only the Lord your God and fear him alone. Obey his commands, listen to his voice, and cling to him. The false prophets or dreamers who try to lead you astray must be put to death, for they encourage rebellion against the Lord your God, and who brought you out of slavery in the land of Egypt. Since they try to keep you from following the Lord your God, you must execute them to remove the evil from among you.
Okay, that's a lot right there, man. That
it
is
is.
A lot
it's
right
heavy.
There.
But
let's
moral
break
of
it
the
down.
story is the dream he had about little black boys and little black girls holding little white boys and little white girls' hands. That's not biblically sound. That's actually goes against scripture. The Most High wants us to be separate as nations.
This is something that I'm aware of. This is definitely something I'm aware of. Don't forget though, Dr. King he didn't look at the Bible how we believed in the Bible. Back then, they were so afraid of even the thought of a black Jesus. You know, they had a black Jesus on the cover of Times Magazine, and black people made them pull it off of the stands because they said that America was trying to curse us. Yeah. So that time was different time. And I definitely hear what you're saying. There's a lot in there. So won't you elaborate to folks what you believe that verse means in relation to Dr. King?
It did happen a long time ago, but the Bible was around then. And I know for a fact Deuteronomy 13 was available for them to read. So when it comes to the Torah, the first 5 books, when you have a man that says he is a leader as far as the church goes, or a man of God, you should expect, or it's safe to assume they know the first 5 books. When it comes to Deuteronomy 13, I don't know if Martin Luther King was aware of that verse, but if he was, or if he was, or if he wasn't,
you breaking up
from the Bible.
Repeat those last 30 seconds, man. You breaking up.
All down here. Oh, when I bring this truth out, I was just saying Deuteronomy 13:1 was available to him, and I discerned that he knew in his spirit that he didn't follow through with the word.
Yeah, man. You going in and out, man.
Yeah.
They got you in the matrix.
I thought it was me.
They got you. Yeah, they got you in the matrix, man.
Everybody.
You might have to come in and come out.
Yeah, you might have to come in and come out. But I like this kind of stuff, man. This is already turning to be into one of my favorite streams because we're looking at this different angle. Go ahead,
get me out the group.
This has been very balanced, huh? Okay, come back. You can come back in, man. Finish your message. I'm about to do a round robin in a minute, and matter of fact, let me put up this poll, man. These are the kind of streams that I like on here, and the more this channel grow, the more fire these friend or foes gonna be because look at this stream. We have not. It's been pretty balanced. We've been showing all different sides of Dr. King, and this is the reason why I wanted to do this. This hasn't been a Dr. King hate thing, and it hasn't been all pro Dr. King, and that's the way that I wanted it. Would you agree, Rashida?
Yes. One thing I want to put out there is that us as black people, like if somebody mess up, we throw them away, right? Like if you go to a restaurant, they add pickles when you didn't say put pickles on your burger. You will be like, fuck this black restaurant. I'm not finna go here no damn more. But if a McDonald's fuck up your order, you will keep on going back to that. And I feel like as black people, we should look at the good besides the bad. We throw away people if they didn't act political correct or they not perfect or whatever and stuff like that. But everybody has their faults. Everybody has their demons.
Hey, I've been waiting for this guy, the general.
But everybody has their faults.
Check Stub. Is that you?
Yes, sir.
The general, man.
Check
What's
Stub
going
on
on, man?
Here.
What it do, man? High salute to you, brother.
Man, salute to you, man. The floor is yours, man. I'm happy to finally have you on here, man. You've been supporting me for a minute, man. I appreciate you.
No, man, I appreciate you, bro, because, I'm just supporting the real, man. I came through from watching Kwame. I caught you early, and I was like, I rock with him, and I like it. So I'm with you, bro. But I just want to drop one thing. I like Martin Luther King, man. I'm pro-black. I'm not pro-dumbass. I'm all pro-black.
Talk about it.
But for real, when you get down to it, he call himself a preacher. But I never hear you quote scripture. You ain't never brought no scripture. I don't care what we talking about. Preacher supposed to come with that book, man. Book is gonna be book. I ain't no preacher. I'm just a brother trying. But I know book. You ain't gonna beat me. Ain't no false prophet gonna fool me. I see him. So if you read Jeremiah 23:25, I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. Yeah, Old Testament, man. He already said all these dreams. Man, he already told you what it is. You know what it is. Man, you keep the commandments, you're good. And I'm Moxy, man. I'm going to get back to mine. Salute to you, bro.
No,
I
salute
just
to you,
wanted to
man.
jump in and
I'm
get
glad
that
you
out.
came on here. While you were talking, I'm just putting this poll up because we about to put this poll up for voting. I'm gonna keep the panel. If y'all still want to come on, I'm gonna keep the panel open for 5. Actually, I'm gonna keep the panel open for 1 more minute. Actually, I gotta take it down now to put the poll up. I can't put the poll up and have this. But I
Man,
appreciate you
salute
coming
to
on
you,
here,
Moxy.
man.
Salute, Moxy, man. Salute, man. I rock with you.
You've been you the longest mod I done had on here, and I love seeing you every time you go on these streams. I'm like, yeah, I already know Check Stuff gonna hold it down in there, man. Because especially now, you see these trolls is growing. They growing.
Man, they strong. They strong, They strong.
Yeah,
And
they
confused.
very strong, and it's much more than when we was first starting because you was around. You know what I mean?
But I'm the troll killer. I will be here to block them and delete. I'm out, man. I'm back into the chat, bro. Hold
Good
it
look.
down, man.
Anytime, man, you can come on here. Anytime, man.
For sure.
All right. All right. Man, I think I'm gonna play one more. Unless Revelation 9 wanted to come on here and finish what he had to say. I think I'm gonna play one more clip.
Moxy?
Yeah, what's up, Rashida?
I'm finna get ready to go on you. I just want to check you out, let you know I'm still alive.
You know I love you, girl. You know, and I appreciate you also. You one of the first ones to come on when I started doing live streams. You ain't forgotten.
Yes.
I appreciate you for not forgetting me. Also, I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm still a member. I still watch you and everything. Still like you. I just don't comment as much because the nursing home was trying to kill my mother. And one thing I want to tell the group is if your loved ones in a nursing home, please watch out for them because they're not going to care about your loved ones like you do.
No, that's a fact. You know, I don't. One of my parents is pretty old, but I don't think I don't know, man. Everybody's situation is different. Have you thought about getting your mom taking care of her yourself?
Well, my mama, she had dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff. And one time we were trying to take care of her. She destroyed the home and then she almost burned down the home. So she really is bad off and stuff. And I work and stuff like that. So I just really can't keep an eye on her for 24/7. You see what I'm saying?
No, I got you, and that's fair. But I'm gonna be praying for your moms. I'm gonna be praying for your mom. I remember last time you came on here was talking about your mom was sick, and yeah, I'm gonna do a live stream tomorrow where because we had all these trolls coming on here, and I ain't gonna lie, I don't like backing down from anything, but I'm not gonna ever let them. I got a show going on, a show. It's about Martin Luther King. I'm gonna do a live stream tomorrow. It's gonna be pretty much no filter, freestyle. We can talk about anything, and yeah, please come back tomorrow. And this is a topic we can talk about because a lot of people do have their parents in the in those homes, and I know in New York City it was a big thing with Andrew Cuomo and them. A lot of them were dying, and it was because a lot of moves that he wasn't making. They was thinking about arresting that man for that. But yeah, I would really appreciate it if you came on here tomorrow. We could talk about it.
Yeah, you see, I got my hair cut and I had lost 20 pounds.
Oh, that's what's up. No, I didn't. I've only seen your avatar, so
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's a real picture of me, though.
No, I got you, but I've only seen your avatar. I can't judge off the avatar. But yeah, come up on here tomorrow. We're gonna talk about it. I got a couple more things about Martin Luther King that I'm gonna share, and we're gonna put this to a close.
Okay, then you take care, Moxy, and I'll see you probably tomorrow. And we can holler.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, bye.
All right, so let me see. Let me share one thing I wanted to share about Martin Luther King. Here, I'm gonna let this play while I look for this real quick. Let him finish what he was saying earlier. I just want to give a shout out to all y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm having fun today, man. Regardless of the dude coming on there trying to shut shit down, man. I was quick on the draw though. I watch, for you to get real good at YouTube, you have to be a fan of this. So I have a few YouTubers who I watch myself. They doing it to them too. You know, Anthony Spade, they try to do that to Anthony Spade. Anthony Spade was quick on the draw. So I've been seeing this is a new thing going around where they're trying to get people's channels taken down by playing that kind of stuff. The best thing about it is I happened to click on this guy's picture and got some of his technical information and I screenshotted it. That y'all didn't see it, but in the backstage of this, he took off fast when he saw I got that. So I'm going to post this up in the community section and I'm going to report him to YouTube. This ain't the streets. Give a fuck about that snitching shit. I can't touch you in real life because that's what I would rather do. I would rather see a person like that in real life. You're trying to stop something that I built, you're trying to cut money from me. Yeah, I will roll up on somebody trying to do this, but this is online. They don't even put their face on there. This is May Cross. The first chance I get, I'm going to the comment section. I'm gonna find any comment that May Cross did, and I'm gonna block him, make sure he can't come back. Yeah, because that's here. I'll give you the link. The link is at. Y'all let me know. Isn't the link still tagged to the top? I see you. Revelation 9. Hold on. Where I want to put this up. Oh wait, right here. He didn't get all his words out with this. I'm gonna let him get his words out. He was cooking in this video. We only let him get halfway through it. He was cooking.
Don't let anybody take your manhood. Be proud of our heritage. As somebody said earlier tonight, we don't have anything to be ashamed of. Somebody told a lie one day. They couched it in language. They made everything black, ugly, and evil. Look in your dictionary and see the synonym to the word black. It's always something degrading and low and sinister. Look at the word white. It's always something pure, high, and clean.
I want to say right here, they always give that credit to Martin or to Malcolm X. This statement that he just said right here about the differences of the word black and white in the dictionary, you'll never hear that from Martin Luther King, though he was saying it. You always hear that given to Malcolm X. And that's why I like this video, because this is a side that we don't really get to see of Martin Luther King. I'm gonna let him finish this, and in Revelations 9, I'm gonna let you finish what you were saying, and then we're gonna wrap it on up. If any one of y'all want to come on here and give y'all final thoughts, you got some time. I'm gonna give you about 10 more minutes. Where I'm gonna keep that stream up if you want to come in here and say something.
But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful.
What is the relationship between this and the reality of the Negro masses?
Well, to leave Martin out of it for a moment. Martin's very rare, very great man. Martin's rare for two reasons. Not because just because he is, and because he's a real Christian and he really believes in nonviolence. He's right at something in himself, which limits him, allows him to do it. And he still has great moral authority in the South. There's none whatever in the North. Poor Martin has gone through God knows what kind of hell to awaken the American conscience. But Martin has reached the end of his rope. There's some things Martin can't do. Martin's only one man. Martin can't solve the nation's central problem by himself. There are lots of people, lots of black people I mean now, who don't go to church no more and don't listen to Martin, you know. And who anyway are themselves produced by civilization, which is always glorified violence, unless the Negro had begun. So that Martin is undercut by the performance of the country. The country is only concerned about nonviolence if it seems that I'm going to get violent. But I'm worried about nonviolence if it's somehow down the shadow.
Jim, what do you see deep in the recesses of your own mind as the future of our nation?
All right. Revelations 9, what's up with you, man? Are you there? All right, there's something else I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna end it on. I ain't gonna say we getting close to the end, but I wanted to talk about this before we ended this stream. So let me go ahead and put this up there. Why Revelations? You there? All right. Let's get to this right here. Now, it's another thing that we don't really hear too much about. Hey, I'm gonna put you back on the in backstage. Let me know when you're ready, Revelations 9. Oh, we got Buffalo in the house. That's what's up. All right. We ain't talk about this. The connection between Martin Luther King and the LGBT community. This is very rarely brought up. LGBTQ brings it up a lot. They do bring it up. This one is kind of off-putting for me. Now, J. Edgar Hoover said this about Martin Luther King, and fuck J. Edgar Hoover. Any of you know done some shit about J. Edgar Hoover? You know he was dressing up as a woman. He was himself was involved in a lot of man-on-man physical activities, allegedly. But he was just determined to expose Martin Luther King as being a fraud, as being a puppet. Don't worry, I'm seeing a lot of comments in there. A lot of y'all are coming from Martin Luther King. You also have to understand when you're talking like that, if J. Edgar Hoover were here, he would say, yes, he's on. Y'all would be talking together. Y'all would be, you know, I'm not saying you right or wrong. I'm just saying how y'all talking like that. J. Edgar Hoover, he would be like, yes, some of my work has worked. But J. Edgar Hoover was one of the guys that says, and I mean, we're not going to know until 2027. He says that he had audio recordings of Martin Luther King involved in homosexual activities. Now, what I have heard talking about this in person, I actually went in the tour when I was in college in Atlanta. It was Dr. Martin Luther King tour. And I remember some of the statements I had heard about this, and this stuff is just all bumbled and all confusing. But they were like, Martin Luther King knew that he was getting bugged. It was like not a secret to anybody that he was getting bugged. And they were saying that Martin Luther King was doing a lot of trolling. Like, because these guys were staying in the same hotel rooms when they were going out, you know, preparing for marches, preparing for speeches. And this is a very different world than the world that they live in. We are very disrespectful to I mean, you know, I'm going to get into that later. Matter of fact, I'm going to write that down for my final monologue. So let's get into this. E had talked about this earlier. And what he had talked about is, you know, as much as we may not want to say it, as much as I may not want to say this, there was a connection with the LGBT community and Dr. Martin Luther King. Not only his message, we all know that they like to take his message now. He never said that, we should be holding hands with those that are homosexual. And he never said that. In fact, after I read this, I'm going to get into what Martin Luther King actually said. Let me do one more check. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I don't want to be disrespectful. Caroline Fountain. Thank you, sister. Thank you. Thank you for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. Hey, this stuff is hard. These long live streams is hard. Like, I'm about ready to go out now, and I'm about to go out, you know. I got a little set I got to do tonight, and, you know, have a little fun tonight, you know, but I wanted to make sure I did this stream. Had to do a little research for it. So every super chat that y'all give me is highly appreciative. I just want to let y'all know that, highly appreciative. So let's get into this. A newfound audio, a forgotten civil rights leader says coming out was an absolute necessity. Now, this guy right here, his name is Bayard Rustin, okay? Bayard Rustin was pretty close to Martin Luther King, and he was LGBTQ. Let's read this. He was an advisor to Martin Luther King Jr. and an organizer behind the 1963 March on Washington. Still, Bayard Rustin's legacy as a leading figure in the civil rights movement is little known today, even among many history buffs and within the LGBTQ community. His homosexuality caused him that visibility and was considered by some as a hindrance to the movement's success. Rustin died in 1987, but his silenced voice was recently resurrected in previously unaired audio from an interview with Washington Blade in the mid-1980s. The audio will air this week in an episode of the podcast, Making Gay History. It was discovered by Sarah Birmingham, the podcaster's executive producer. Rustin was a target of homophobic attacks, as he discussed in his interview, and he was sidelined by other Black leaders at key moments during a movement he helped steer. At a given point, there was so much pressure on Dr. King about being gay, and particularly because I would not deny it, that he set up a committee to explore whether it'd be dangerous for me to continue working with him. Wow. This is the stuff that they don't teach. This is the stuff that they don't teach. He conceded, but as Eric Marcus, the host of Making Gay History, tells NPR's Michelle Martin, Rustin kept working for the cause. In the face of constant setbacks and discrimination, Marcus says Rustin's commitment prevailed, a quality Marcus attributes to his Quaker upbringing. Now, there's many different, he's a Quaker. Wait, I almost missed that. He's a Quaker. Gay Quaker? Okay. Wow. I feel like I was robbed as my history of a gay person. This is pretty, here, I'm about to bring you back on. Can you hear?
Yeah, Shalom, I'm here.
All right. So did you hear what we were just talking about with him and Bayard Rustin?
Yeah, I did.
What do you have to say about that? This is Revelations 9. He back, y'all.
Yeah, come. I can't speak on too much I can't verify.
Facts. Facts.
I know this Bible is true. I'm ready for that.
Facts. Well, go. We're about to end this in a minute, but go ahead and elaborate on that Deuteronomy as far as Dr. King being a false prophet. That's what you were talking about earlier, correct?
Yeah, Con. It was Deuteronomy 13, verse 1. And how it started was because everybody knows that I have a dream speech.
Right.
So this is kind of like prophetic. But not only Martin Luther King, if you're a so-called Black man with a message that is contrary to the Bible, you need to be really careful because you're playing with fire. You know what I'm saying? The Most High fire. Because a lot of people that commented today calling themselves Black, if you pay really close attention to your skin, you might notice that it's some shade of brown. You understand?
Oh, yeah, so we know this government controls us through labels and all that, and that's the label. Like, we're not Black and white people are not white. First of all, white people are just blank pigments. They're not, they actually don't have no skin color. Their skin is clear. And the same thing about the pigments of their blue eyes. It's not really blue. It just doesn't have no color at all, so it looks blue. So, everybody doesn't know that, but you're correct. Keep going.
Yeah. The importance of knowing that is because when you identify with the color, you strip yourself of a real nationality. Unlike a Russian man or a Chinese man, you would know where they're from. But when you call yourself Black, there's no place on earth to associate that with. So just a side note, we need to come away from what's been taught to us and what's been shoved down our throats as far as calling each other Black and get back to learning what your nationality is. But Deuteronomy 13:1, it says, suppose there are prophets among you or those who have dreams about the future, and they promise you signs and miracles, and the predicted signs or miracles take place. If the prophet then says, "Come, let us worship the God of foreign nations," do not listen to them. The Lord your God is testing you to see if you love him with all your heart and soul. Serve only the Lord your God and him alone. Obey his commands, listen to his voice, and cling to him. The false prophets or dreamers who tried to lead you astray must be put to death, for they encouraged rebellion against the Lord your God, who brought you out of slavery in the land of Egypt. Since they try to keep you from following the Lord your God, you must execute them to remove the evil from among you. Now, just to piggyback on that, Genesis 15:13. I'm gonna be real quick, Moxy. I know you like this truth. Genesis 15:13 says, "Then the Lord told Abram, you can be sure that your descendants will be strangers in a foreign land, and they will be oppressed as slaves for 400 years." Now, that should hit home if anybody is listening and call themselves black, you know a little bit about your history. We've been in servitude for over 400 years. So this Bible is speaking to us. Just to bring it on home real quick, Deuteronomy 28 chapter. I encourage all your listeners and viewers to read that tonight if they can. Deuteronomy 28 chapter, verse 68. It says, one second. Let me get there.
You got it.
All right, right on. Deuteronomy 28. That was the chapter that brought me in the truth. After there, it was just wide open. So I encourage, if you call yourself so-called black, to read Deuteronomy 28 tonight or as soon as possible. But here we go. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Verse, let me give you some context. Verse 14 says, where we at? Verse 14 says, "You must not turn away from any of the commands I am giving you today to follow after other gods and worship them." Now pay attention to verse 15. "But if you refuse to listen to the Lord your God and do not obey all the commands and laws I am giving you today, all these curses will come and overwhelm you." So that was verse 15. So if you read 16 all the way to the last verse in that chapter, which is 68, I'm bringing it home now. This is the Bible, and this is for us. "Then the Lord will send you back to Egypt in ships, a journey I promise you will never make again. There you will offer to sell yourselves to your enemies as slaves, but no one will want to buy you." So we need to get back to these commandments. We need to understand that this Bible is a real will and testament, but it's not for the world to inherit. It is for the children of Israel. It is inheritance and a will for us. So we get back into this truth, we'll get back into the right state of mind and no longer be oppressed, because the curses are over with. We just got to.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I lightweight agree with what you're saying about us getting to that, but that's a steep uphill climb. And it actually ties into some of the stuff I want to say, is because the way that this country got us and the way it is, half of us don't even believe in, because they took his image. I mean, this is another conversation that I don't want to get too deep into, but of course they took his image and turned it into a white guy. Then they destroyed that image of the white guy. So it just, a lot of people don't even like to talk about Jesus as a whole. Like, since you've been on here even mentioning this, even talking about the Bible, about 15 people done dropped off. Like, it's a thing now where I sprinkle it in on his channel because as a whole we're not in the unity on that. Like I said, I do agree it's something that'll help us out, but they're pretty cunning on how they've done these things. They even have a Hollywood show that I've had friends, or not even want to say friends, people that I know, the Black Jesus, that was pretty much a joke. So when you say Black Jesus, they go, the TV show. Ha 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 ha. So it's like they're very cunning. And I think we've already went through the great falling away. And I think what's next is we're going to see the great revival. I think that's next.
That's right. That's right.
That's another stream that I would love to have you on. I'm not sure. Do you know We Woke Now? Yeah, We Woke Now. I don't know if you follow his YouTube page. Please go check his YouTube page. He is very precise at this. It's one of my favorite YouTube pages. Y'all make sure y'all go follow We Woke Now. But he's very precise with this kind of information. But this is the part I want to say. A part that I listened to everything you said is about the Deuteronomy and all that, and the part that I'm gonna have to disagree with in pertaining to Martin Luther King is, as you seen in some of these tapes, he wasn't a big fan of this government. It seemed like he tried to do what he can do to get what he wanted out of this government for us. But these tapes I've been playing, he been outright straight up dogging the government. And that was part of the reason why I think they called him. Because remember, part was where he said where they're going to try to get you to worship the leaders of foreign nations. I don't put Martin Luther King in that category. And that's just me. I don't put him in that category.
Nah, I'm not. I don't want to paint him now.
Oh, we was just man. You had it going for a while. They done put you in the Matrix again, man. Are you there? Yeah, they done put you in the Matrix again. Let me handle this super chat. Andrea Jackson. You know I love you, girl. You're regular over here. I'm loving this, Moxy. You're the go. I appreciate that.
Jesus Christ. God. All right, goddamn.
I appreciate that. Revelations 9, you there? So let me ask you this. Okay, let me ask you this because your mic messing up and we the last people standing here. What is your final comment on Martin Luther King? Do you look at him as a friend or as a foe?
I look at him as a foe.
All right. He dropped the bomb. Everybody, hey man,
every man be a liar and Most High be the truth.
Right. Oh, well, in that case, everybody gonna be foes. You know what I mean? But you're right. Every man is a liar, and but in that case, everybody a foe. But hey, look, man, I appreciate you on here. I've been, I do recognize you when you come on here and comment, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate you coming on here today to put your opinion out. I think you made it a full circle because you came on here and you brought the word in here. We didn't have that. I like a little bit of everything. We had this stream. We had a little bit of everything this stream. We had some trolling stuff. You know what I mean? We had some radical talk, and then we had the word in here. So I really appreciate you. Appreciate everybody. A lot of everybody that came on the panel today, other than the white guy that came on here and tried to get this stuff taken. And look, I ain't judging all y'all white people. I'm gonna be watching y'all now, but I ain't judging all y'all. Y'all wanted the first. Y'all were the ones that tried to get my page taken down first. No one else. Y'all white folks. So I don't want to hear. I'm gonna still let y'all come on here because eventually I'm gonna open this page up to everybody. But I like rocking with my people right now. Eventually I am gonna open this page up and talk about topics that deal with everybody. Just right now I want to focus on my people first. And then build from there. But Revelation 9, you said it. You look at him as a foe, man. Hey, do you have anything you want to promote?
Nah, not at all. Just truth. I encourage you to keep your platform going, and I'm gonna just pray for your protection because I know you're a truth seeker as well. And just stay prayed up, man. Shalom.
Hey man, I appreciate you for that. And yes, please pray for me. Pray for my mental stability and for my protection. I really appreciate you, brother. Shalom. I appreciate you. All right, till the next time, we're gonna go ahead and all right, time for that final monologue. Y'all know what time it is. You know what time it is. Let's go. Man. This was a hell of a stream, man. Oh, man. This was a lot today, y'all. I had some fun, though. This was a lot. They do not like us, man. Look, all the pages that I see, people trying to take their pages down, other than, I'm going to say the 050 movement, they all bigger pages than me. The only one I saw they tried to do that this smaller page, but he has a bigger live stream audience. Is 050 movement. That's a different type of page, but I do check out what they do. Look, I mess with the gangsters. I mess with the pastors and the prophets. I mess with my folks, black people. All right. So How I feel about Martin Luther King. We are just very disrespectful as a group of people. Hey, I talk about Malcolm X first. I just read this article. This black guy wrote this article about saying that Malcolm X was giving fellatio to men for money when he was on the street. Look, they like to tear up the black man's image. There won't ever be anybody that's really doing something positive for us that they're not going to try to destroy their image. You know, we went through a lot today. We went through, you know, they saying he was a womanizer. Try to say this man was gay. The LGBT community culture literally has a connection to what Martin Luther King did. And the part about that I don't like is the LGBT community is quick to shit on the church. They are quick to do that. Their whole format of protesting came from the church, the black church, the black church. Let's get that down. Now I know we talk about the word black and all that. We speaking code over here. Everybody don't even believe that we are the true ones. You know what I mean? That's something that maybe one day I will get into talking to, but I haven't been talking about that as much. I sprinkle it in there and look what they're trying to do already. So I know how to walk these lines, but our churches, they got their whole format on how to protest and everything. I am so offended on what they did with George Floyd. They took his whole, but let me get back on to this. They setting us up with Martin Luther King. It's a lot of stuff out there. Martin Luther King got a dark side. Let's just be real. All this stuff can't be lies. I believe that it's a little bit balanced. I don't think necessarily that this guy was a super agent for the government. There ain't no proof that y'all can give me that it is. So this is just an opinion. I can see how somebody can believe that though. I can. Because one thing they like to do with Dr. Martin Luther King's image is they like to preach his image more than Malcolm X because it was an image of submission. Was it all the way? No, it wasn't. That's the part of it that they want to push. I just showed y'all videos on here where he was cooking on this government. Wasn't holding back. And I want to bring in the part where we very disrespectful because we quick to say he an agent. Some of y'all say he's a coon. Not one of y'all niggas would get stabbed in the heart and keep doing that stuff. I know I wouldn't. Look how bad y'all disrespecting this man. Look how bad we disrespect our leaders. Man got stabbed in the heart. I would be like, yo, I quit. Like, straight up. I quit. I don't want to do it no more. I got stabbed in the heart. And they just talk so bad about me. Still talk so bad about me. I saw that because I was researching for this. I saw that yesterday and I had to take a minute to breathe because it's like, I didn't remember this part of Martin Luther King's story where a black woman stabbed this man in the heart, tried to kill him. If he would have sneezed, that's it, right? I want to say that this man had a lot of flaws. He had a lot of flaws. And they're setting us up with Martin Luther King. And the reason why I say they're setting us up with Martin Luther King, you see that they're tearing all kind of statues down. And we're not asking them to. And they're tearing all these white statues down. He's tearing all these white statues down. General Lee, tear statues down. He owned slaves. They ain't taking that Mount Rushmore down. And those guys were the worst. Those guys were the worst. They ain't taking Mount Rushmore down. But they, cancel culture. Take this statue down. I don't know about y'all. I don't give a damn about no damn statue. That's not gonna change anything. But that's what they doing. And that's why they setting this up. They pushed this back to 2027 for the FBI files to be released. It was supposed to be released this year. You know why they're not doing it? Because they feeling, and this is my opinion, they filling out the society on where we're at in society, right? So they're gonna have a time where they feel like we're ready in society, and they're gonna push this stuff out about Martin Luther King, the dark stuff about Martin Luther King. They said he had dealings with the R word, sexual assault on women. They said it's an audio tape about this. They said he was laid up all in the bed with men. They saying that there's tapes about this. They're saying, and I showed y'all this on credible sites, not no .th sites, or people will come on YouTube and come with sites that they made on their own. These were credible news sites where they talk about this guy being involved in all kinds of stuff. So I think it's going to be a point. It might be 2027 when they think that we're ready. Where they're going to put this out, they're going to start snatching street signs down. They're going to start destroying statues of the man. And that just is what it is. But I think I see us clearly getting set up with Dr. King. What do I feel about Dr. King? I can't call this man a foe. I'm a Malcolm X man. I am. I'm a Malcolm X man. He was not perfect either. We're going to eventually do a Malcolm X friend or foe. But I am a Malcolm X man more than a Martin Luther King man. But, I mean, this man did a lot. All right. And, we can sit here and dog this man out and do all this, but it's not as bad. We ain't too much further, but it's not as bad as it was as far as the stuff we had to take from white people in Martin Luther King's time. It wasn't. I'm going to say that there was some things that we haven't talked about that were better during his time. One of the things that my father told me that he was talking about in this video, I missed out on talking about this, so I'm going to talk about it now. When he was talking about economic inequality in this country, there's one thing that they did. They did what they call a Dulo twist. That's what Kwame was talking about, the Dulo twist. I know they get mad anytime I bring up his name on here. The Dulo twist. One thing they did with us, talk to your parents that's over 60 and 70, your grandparents. Talk to them. They'll tell you we were better as a community during segregation. We was. When you would go outside, talk to them. When I hear this stuff about their time, it's like, it sounded like heaven to me. Like when they talked about when you would go outside, when you go to Cleaners owned by blacks. Cleaners owned by blacks. The neighborhood store was owned by blacks. All these mom and pop stores owned by blacks. I stay in New York City where I have ran into stores that's owned by black people. And sometimes you do get a better service. There is definitely some stores in Crown Heights that I went to that I felt better going in that they were black. I did have some good service. The African ones, no. But that's another, we already talked about the Africans and all that stuff and but it's a difficult conversation because, Martin Luther King fought for integration, but I don't know if he knew what integration was going to do to us economically. Tore us apart. We was very strong though when we were segregated. Some of you Negroes on here that love fucking the white chicks, you wouldn't have liked when we were segregated. You wouldn't have. There was a point in my life I probably wouldn't like that it was segregated. I had a period in LA where I was tearing white chicks up. I don't really mess with that much anymore. That's another topic. But a lot of y'all wouldn't have liked living in segregation, but they said economically it was better for us. But to bring this all back around, I mean, the man went through a lot for us. And I will say I'd rather live in this time than live in the time that they were in. And I think they try to give too much of all the credit to Martin Luther King when I do think that it was a mixture. Him and Malcolm X ended up becoming friends. So some of y'all can talk about this, Malcolm this and Malcolm X, but at the end of the day, them two men squared a lot of stuff away and they made agreements that, this is how you do things and this is how I do things. There was times when Malcolm X tried to give Martin Luther King some protection. They teach us about how he go and he's got his head bust wide open, but really that was just what they were doing. He really was just going out to do the peaceful marches. And to see some of the stuff this man had to go through, maybe the man deserved to fuck whoever he wanted. I'm sorry, man. Maybe he deserved to fuck whoever he wanted, because if you really know the story of this man, it was not easy to go through what he went through. Getting stabbed in the heart by a black woman and you get back up. And you go out and you do it again. A lot of y'all can sit there behind these fake YouTube accounts with these fake pictures up there and talk all the mess that you want to talk, but you're not capable of that. Whatever the case may be, we don't have one leader that we don't complain about, black folks. And, the brother Revelations was talking about some stuff and it connects to that because since the beginning of the time, that's us in the Old Testament, the Bible. Please believe it. That is us. We didn't like leaders back then. When Yahshua came, we hated Yahshua. That was us. That was us. So we don't have a leader. There is no leader that we've never hated on. You know, maybe he was part of the Black Boule, fraternities and all that stuff. But this man gave up his life at a young age. I made it. I'm probably going, I forgot, I don't know how old he was when he died. I think I might be older than Martin Luther King now. A lot of y'all watching this got to live longer than Martin Luther King. What do you I think he was what? No, I think he was older than me when he died. But God forbid, I'm getting close to making to his age or whatever. God forbid that I don't make it to that. You know, we're not promised tomorrow. But he died very young. He died very young. I don't think Martin Luther King did all that so these streets would be named after you. I don't know anybody that's smart that would do something to be remembered after they gone like that. To purposely die. To purposely die. That's what I mean. Purposely die. I think a lot of us want to be remembered after we're gone. But I know, well, let me shut up. Let me shut up. Because I always have said that the way I want to go out is I want to die on stage talking like how Malcolm X died. And I want somebody to get rid of me off of something that I said. But it ain't to be remembered when I'm dead. It's just for the message to be remembered. So maybe that's the case with him, but that man sure went through a hell of a lot to pull that off. So all in all, what I want to say about Martin Luther King, I cannot bring myself to call that man a foe. I can't. He is the one that they chose to be remembered for him being remembered like that. And I get why, because they like that submissiveness. But we can teach our kids on our own about Martin Luther King. And don't forget, I think when you combine him and Malcolm X together, I think it's a good, it's a good backdrop of how our leaders used to be. A lot of us are not capable of this time. We want to play PS5, man. Don't nobody want to get stabbed for this stuff. So I do want to see what y'all have to say, Moxy Mob, about this. I want to see what y'all, okay, 57% of y'all call him a friend. So, hey, we on code, but I always give y'all a voice, Moxy Mob. 53% of y'all, 57% now, call him a friend, and I'm gonna have to agree. We dealt with a lot today, y'all, and I would like to thank y'all for sticking with me on dealing with this. For those of y'all that have been around, I've never had that many trolls on this page, but I've always been ready for them. I knew they was gonna come at some point, and I'm ready for more of them. You're gonna see this page blow up and blow more heights. Eventually, you're gonna see 1,000 people in these streams. You're gonna have to learn how to deal with them. I'm about to start hitting up StreamYard or and advising them for a way to where we could turn off the cameras for guests. They need to give us content creators a way to turn off the camera for guests, and that will get rid of that because it's something very unfair. I really wish I could roll up on the white dude that did that because we all know that was May Cross. We all know that was him. But we are not cowards over here. We talk to people face to face. We don't have to hide our face and have, try to play pornos and get people's page taken down. The funny thing about it is y'all couldn't see it, but it was definitely a super troll because it was a black dude getting his joint, getting topped off by a white chick. That was funny. I sat there and watched it behind the scenes. Y'all only got to see a second of it because I was quick. I was quick on there. All right, so before I get out of here, let me go through these comments because it's been a while till I went through these comments. Let. Fiery voice, I appreciate it. Strictly Mob. Strictly Mob. That's what's up. The kingdom is definitely in Fiery Voice. I appreciate you, Fiery Voice. Every race has written off the blacks and MLK beautiful words. That's a fact. We didn't even bring up that. That's a fact. We have a savior complex in us. I don't know about that. Because whenever somebody come out, we try to rip them down. I don't know about that. Ricardo Johnson, stupid ass show. Then why your bitch ass come on here? Bitch. You watching. Every race has written off the back of blacks. I mean, we've been loyal supporters to the devil's rule over the planet. That's what you mean. Come boldly to the throne. Yeah, we was on here. Y'all was on here talking. Dry bones. That's Ezekiel. That's Ezekiel. Oh, Ashley Benet. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all. So look, tomorrow we gonna come back and I may not, I don't know, I may do all audio tomorrow, but I'm gonna come tomorrow. I'm gonna do a stream that's gonna be freestyle. Anything y'all want to talk about? If some of y'all cats is still mad at me doing, because I think I'm about to do another Kwame video. I gotta have this guy. I'm gonna pull out the guy on this stream. I'm gonna have him on. I'm gonna give him the show that he wanted. Sound like a fool, man. There's a white dude too. I don't even understand why he was all upset. And to keep it fair, another white dude came on here and expressed his opinion and didn't do anything foul. I appreciate you, sir. But that other white dude that came on here,
Jesus Christ, God, all right, goddamn. Jesus Christ, God, all right, goddamn.
that's what I got to say to you. All right. Yeah, so show up tomorrow. We're gonna address all this hatred and all that. I don't know what it is that they don't. I don't know what he did to people to make people not like him that much. Like, I know people on here that's way wilder than Kwame. I don't know what it is. People disagree, but man, that man got some hatred on him, man. They brought it all the way over here. Oh, May Cross, I'm glad you're there. Let me block your bitch ass. Let me block you. Yeah, you forever blocked from this page. You're gonna have to make another account to come on here. I'm glad you came back. Because I was looking for where one of your comments so I can block you. I'm glad I got you. Damn, I didn't know I missed this many comments. Fiery voice. Yeah, thank you, Travel One. I appreciate you. Yo, I really appreciate all y'all on here. I appreciate you, Fiery Voice. Yeah, we got him. Maycross is blocked. We got it. Anyway, y'all know how we like to end our videos over here on Moxy Approved, right? With that water. I see y'all here tomorrow on Moxy Approved. They got at us today. But we was ready, Moxy Mob. We was ready. I'm about to delete this broadcast right after it. I don't know. I might re-upload it. If y'all want me to re-upload it, I'm going to put it in the community section if you want me to re-upload it. But other than that, I'm going to take little pieces out of it. Because this was, I'm going to upload it. I'm going to re-upload it without the fuckery on there. Because this was a pretty good stream. All right? And I'll see y'all here tomorrow.